Pokémon, I became a Pikachu. Hello again, dear adventurers of the multiverse. Thanks for joining us once more on this epic journey. Remember, this story is pure science fiction from our wild imagination, so don't go trying to summon dragons in your backyard. The rights of this amazing novel belong entirely to its original author. We are only the narrators. Do you want more adventures? Show some love to our YouTube channel with a subscription and a like, and if you want exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting for you with open arms. Chapter 426 The Interceptor J. Boom. Boom. A violent explosion rang out, and the earth seemed to tremble. Watching Lacius's enraged attack, Mu Chen's lips twitched. As expected of a legendary being, Mu Chen could already tell their strength from this brief exchange. Both a dragon brother and sister were clearly a level above those three idiots. Dealing with the three idiots wasn't too difficult for Mu Chen. But dealing with a dragon brother and sister? Hell, thankfully their arrogance prevented them from teaming up at the beginning. While the dragon brother's single target damage wasn't as explosive as the dragon sister's, his combination attack was incredibly disgusting. It was only because Mu Chen had been tempered by Mutual that he succeeded, otherwise, anyone else would have been hit. The dragon sister was even more monstrous. Calm Mind plus Dragon Meteor? That was practically a super turret. If Mu Chen hadn't acted first and gained the upper hand, if he hadn't used his verbal attack to drive the dragon sister into a rage and cause her to lose her composure, this battle is truly going to be tough. But it's too late to say anything now. The heavenly dragon meteor, launched after a meditation, was incredibly powerful, but even with Mu Chen prepared, it was still a wasted effort. The heavenly dragon meteor missed its target, and a flicker of despair crossed the exhausted dragon sister's eyes. Even this wasn't enough. The dragon sister knew that with her brother defeated, she, in her current state, was absolutely no match for this cunning Pikachu. Looking at the yellow mouse before her, the dragon sister was filled with regret. She wasn't stupid. Before, her anger had caused her to lose her composure. Now, after venting her frustration, how could the dragon sister not realize that she and her brother had completely fallen for Pikachu's trick? This guy was deliberately provoking her, deliberately enraging her, causing her to lose her composure and judgment. Pika, what? Not fighting anymore? Having dodged the heavenly dragon meteor, Mu Chen had originally planned to prepare for a counterattack. Unexpectedly, after using the super dragon meteor, the dragon sister seemed to have lost her will to fight. Looking at the dragon sister floating in midair, seemingly lost in thought, Mu Chen hesitated. What's going on? Should we fight or not? Give me an answer. Considering that this dragon sister could transform into a human, and considering that he would have to spar with her in the future, Mu Chen really didn't dare to go all out. Damn it, going all out is easy, but what about afterwards? Coax her every day? Just kidding, our Mu Chen doesn't have that kind of time. Ladia, let my brother go, I'll go with you. The dragon sister Ladius knew that she had no hope of winning this battle. It was precisely because of this that, in despair, the dragon sister chose to sacrifice herself to ensure her brother's safety. Pikachu, holy crap. Sure. Absolutely no problem. Hearing the dragon sister say this, the happiest person was naturally Mu Chen. Are you kidding me? I was just worrying about how to get that idiot Ash to only catch his sister and not his brother, and he just delivered himself right to my doorstep. Ladius, what good is it if you say you can? Where's your trainer? Can you even communicate with him? Seeing this yellow-skinned mouse so excited, the dragon sister felt even more desolate. However, there's a very real problem. What's the point of Pikachu agreeing? In the end, isn't it Ash who makes the final decision? Pika, why are you worrying about such a small thing? That idiot? I'll take care of him. Being able to perfectly complete this task, Mu Chen felt indescribably satisfied. Ash's wishes? Does it matter? If he doesn't listen, 100,000 votes and he's out. For Mu Chen, what Ash thinks is never within his consideration. However, just as Mu Chen was about to go find Misty to have her translate, Ash, who was unexpectedly caught up in a battle, didn't immediately go to catch the defeated and crippled dragon brother, Lacius. Ash wasn't going to try and catch it, so Misty and Serena, who were in OB mode, were even less likely to. But unexpected situations always arise. Ha. It came so easily. Lacius's mind, an excited voice suddenly came from above. Immediately, a Pokeball was thrown at the unconscious Lacius. Pikachu, holy crap. What's going on? Suddenly, someone appeared to intercept it, leaving Mu Chen stunned. Lacius, brother. His dragon brother Lacius was already unconscious, and there was absolutely no way to resist being caught by the Pokeball. Seeing the suddenly appearing Pokeball about to capture her brother, her dragon sister Lacius paled. Damn it. Don't even think about it. Lacius was his prize, and Ash, who had been watching closely, was the first to react. The masked man had already thrown the Pokeball, and Ash, unable to stop him in time, didn't think twice and threw a Pokeball in response. Thud. Ash might be a bit clumsy in other ways, but when it comes to throwing Pokeballs, he's incredibly accurate. His Pokeball, launched later, barely blocked the sudden intrusion. The two Pokeballs collided in midair, neither able to capture the other, and both fell to the ground in front of Lacius. You damned brat, you're asking for death. His capture plan ruined. The person who had ambushed him was furious. HMPH. Who are you, daring to do such a despicable thing? Looking at the woman in a smart suit and wearing a smart helmet, Ash was filled with rage. This is my trophy. HMPH. Brat, I was planning to catch Lacius before dealing with you. Since you dare to seek death, don't blame me. Hunter J. The newcomer was none other than Hunter J., a member of the Hunter Association, a dark organization in this world dedicated to capturing Pokémon. Originally, the dragon brother and sister were Hunter J's target. Hunter J chased them all the way from the Hone region to the Johto region. But unexpectedly, when she found the dragon brother and sister, the two of them were battling the brat's Pikachu. Seeing such an easy opportunity, how could Hunter J let it pass? In fact, Hunter J planned to capture the dragon brother and sister first, and then deal with the Pikachu. A Pikachu capable of defeating Lacius was certainly quite valuable. Chapter 427 Lacius's Conditions. Pikachu, what's going on? System, come out here. Explain yourself, what's happening? Previously, no matter what happened, Mu Chen always received a warning from the system beforehand, so there were no supernatural emergencies in his world. However, what about this one? Looking at the suddenly appearing Hunter J, Mu Chen was completely dumbfounded. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. Host, Hunter J at this time of year is extremely powerful and ruthless. Therefore, host, you must be careful. If you can kill her, do not let her escape, otherwise, the consequences will be dire. The system replied very quickly to Mu Chen's question. However, the content of this reply made Mu Chen curse. What the hell? I called you out to help, what do you mean by this? I don't care if Hunter J or Hunter L is ruthless or not, aren't you going to give me some reward? Even if you don't help, at least give me some extra reward or something. Mu Chen was deeply hurt by this unreliable system. Lacius, Pikachu. Help me defeat this damned hunter, protect my brother, and I'll be at your mercy from now on. Just as Mu Chen was still struggling with this system, the dragon sister's voice suddenly rang out. Compared to Pikachu, the dragon sister hated this suddenly appearing Hunter J even more. It was because of her that she and her brother were forced to leave their home. After fleeing all the way, they finally found this undisturbed place. Lacius and her brother had just settled down when they encountered Ash, this blockhead. Losing to this human trainer would at most mean being captured by him and becoming his Pokémon to fight for him. How many years can a human live? After this trainer gradually grows old and dies, they can regain their freedom. Legendary Pokémon have lifespans close to infinite. At most, they'll be bothered and teased by this hateful yellow-skinned rat for these few decades. To Lacius, a yellow-skinned rat was nothing more than a chatterbox. What harm could it possibly do to her? Now, she realized even that chatter was likely a ploy by the rat to provoke her brother and herself. But, if they were captured by that despicable Hunter J, it would be a fate worse than death. The Hunter Association made its living by capturing Pokémon all over the world. Pokémon captured by them suffered endless torture until their edges were completely worn away, their life force extinguished, turning them into mere puppets, devoid of any spiritual life. The thought of that terrifying fate sent chills down Lacius's spine. Now, this Hunter J, whom she dreaded, had caught up with her. Even in their prime, Lacius and her brother Lacius wouldn't have been a match for this powerful Hunter J, let alone now. Therefore, under this overwhelming threat, Lacius chose to compromise. She had already been defeated, and had even planned to sacrifice herself to secure her brother's freedom. The current situation is not much different from the previous plan. In any case, he will be subdued by this human. Pikachu, Pikachu, are you serious? No regrets? Latios said this only because he thought it meant he wanted to submit to Ash and fight for him. But what does that mean to Mu Chen? To be at my mercy? Tisk tisk, you dare to say that? Latios, serious? Of course I'm serious. I mean what I say, no matter what, I will never go back on my word. Seeing that Pikachu was moved, Latios was secretly delighted. This idiot. Even without this Hunter J, wouldn't I still submit to your master and fight for your master? Now it seems that there is no difference at all. Just a different way of saying it, and this idiot fell for it? Sure enough, the intelligence of ordinary Pokémon is far, far inferior to that of us legendary Pokémon. Pikachu, Pikachu, then it's settled. Originally, Mu Chen was still struggling with how to defeat Latios after defeating him. This woman's strength is no joke. Mu Chen knew that if he wanted to take her down by force, like he did with Gardevoir and the other old women, it would be a long and drawn-out battle. However, just as Mu Chen was hesitating, she offered herself up. What was there to be polite about? Come out, my powerful partner, Salamence. Just as Mu Chen was negotiating with Latios, Hunter J, who was confronting Ash, also made his move. With a wave of his hand, a huge dragon appeared in front of Hunter J. This was none other than the pseudo-legendary Pokémon of the Hone region, Salamence, also known as Salamence. Wah! Pikachu, Pikachu, just as Melodic and Gardevoir got into battle stance, ready to fight the Salamence, a loud cry suddenly rang out. Pikachu? What are you doing here? Seeing Pikachu rushing over, Ash felt an indescribable surge of emotion. As expected of his starter Pokémon. Although this guy often doesn't listen to him, he still cares about him in this crucial moment. Clearly, in Ash's silly eyes, Pikachu's act of abandoning Latios and rushing over was to protect him. Radia, Pikachu had just charged out when Latios followed behind. Zzzzz. Radia, before Ash could react, a bolt of electricity leaped from Ash's cheeks, blasting towards the Salamence. At the same time, Latios, following behind Pikachu, also attacked. With an angry roar, Latios raised its neck high and unleashed a powerful dragon breath attack on Salamence. Pikachu? What's going on with you two? Ash was touched by Pikachu's appearance. Seeing Latios chasing Pikachu, Ash initially thought it was a pursuit. But unexpectedly, neither Pikachu nor Latios hesitated to attack the suddenly appearing Hunter J. What was going on? Weren't they just fighting fiercely a moment ago? Ash was completely bewildered by what he was seeing. Chapter 428. Hang in there, I'm almost there. Salamander, charge. Take down Latios first. Use Dragon Claw. If Pikachu and Latios were both at their peak, Hunter J might have found it a bit troublesome. But now. HMPH. Pikachu defeated Latios first, and then fought Latios for so long, how much fighting power does it have left? In Hunter J's opinion, even the best trained Pokémon like Pikachu has a limit. At the very least, its skill reserves are definitely not that high. Precisely because of this, facing the combined attack of Pikachu and Latios, Hunter J's choice was to ignore Pikachu and focus all its efforts on Latios. After all, Latios is a legendary dragon, a level higher than her Salamander, and its strength is something that cannot be ignored. Whoosh! Upon receiving Hunter J's command, Salamander let out a roar, ignoring Pikachu's thunderbolt, and charged towards its dragon sister, Latios. Haha. Excellent. That's the spirit. Seeing Salamence's fierce fighting spirit, Hunter J laughed triumphantly. Then, with a wave of her hand, a gigantic scorpion Pokémon appeared before her. Scorpion, go. Take down that brat's Pokémon. Hunter J's battle experience far surpassed Ash's. Judging by their aura alone, Hunter J could roughly gauge the level of Melodic, Gardevoir, and other Pokémon. They might be okay against ordinary people, but against Hunter J, they were completely outmatched. Focusing her attention on Salamence, Hunter J summoned Scorpion, letting it do as it pleased. Damn it! Melodic, use Water Pulse. Gardevoir, use Psychic. Seeing himself so ignored, Ash was furious. However, although he was the champion, his title was entirely earned by Mu Chen. Facing Hunter J's Scorpion, Ash was definitely not going to have an easy time. Whether Ash's battle was difficult or not, Mu Chen couldn't care less. His attention was entirely focused on the Salamence. Pikachu! Pikachu, what the hell? What are you doing? Behave yourself. Men and women shouldn't touch? Don't you dare grab and pull at my girl like that. Salamence is a flying dragon type. While it has no resistance to electric type moves, it also doesn't suffer extra damage. A single, instant thunderbolt was nothing more than a tickle to Hunter J's Salamence. During the thunderbolt attack, Salamence charged towards Latius, its claws flashing as it began to tear at her. Seeing Latius screaming in pain from Salamence's attacks, Mu Chen was furious. This is my girl. How dare you touch my girl? She'll be mercilessly attacked. When Mu Chen defeated the dragon brother earlier, he used a charged super ball. There's still some time before the charge skill's cooldown is over. Therefore, Mu Chen's attack this time is still an instant thunderbolt. Radia, yellow-skinned rat, what are you doing? Come help me. The dragon sister's type is psychic plus dragon, which is mutually effective against this Salamence. But the dragon sister is a ranged attacker. Asking a turret to fight a melee warrior like this is asking too much? The dragon sister was already badly weakened by Mu Chen's attack. Now, with Salamence charging up and attacking wildly, she's exhausted all her abilities to defend against its attacks. But unexpectedly, her ally, that wretched yellow-skinned rat, is just standing around, slacking off. Weren't you so fierce when you attacked my brother and me? Why are you so weak now? Seeing Pikachu merely using a quick thunderbolt attack without much effort, Dragon Sister panicked. Damn it! What is this yellow-skinned mouse doing? Doesn't it know that if I also lose, it's absolutely impossible for it to defeat this terrifying Salamence on its own? Pika, just hold on a little longer, I'll be ready soon. Neither Dragon Sister nor Hunter J knew that Mu Chen's charge skill cooldown wasn't too long. Some time had passed since the last use, and the cooldown was about to return. Before the cooldown was complete, even if Mu Chen used charge, the damage he could inflict on Salamence wouldn't be significant. Therefore, Mu Chen was deliberately misleading Hunter J and Salamence. You think I'm a loser? You think I'm just a quick shooter who's out of ammo? Well, just wait, once my skill cooldown is over, I'll one-shot you. Although this might make things harder for Latius, Mu Chen had no choice but to do it to defeat his opponent. Anyway, he hadn't won her over yet, their relationship wasn't that deep, so he could just bear it and it would pass. Haha. Salamence, use crunch. Bite off Latius's wings. The poisonous scorpion was fighting two opponents at once, putting on a great show, requiring no attention from Hunter J in the same battle. Salamence was also gaining the upper hand, fighting two opponents at once. Latius was in poor condition and was even caught off guard by Salamence's close-range attack. Defeat was only a matter of time. As for the remaining Pikachu, if Hunter J had some reservations about it before, now he completely ignored it. HMPH. Just as I predicted. Pikachu is always Pikachu. No matter how powerful it is bred, its limits are still there. Being able to fight a Latius is probably Pikachu's limit. Even if I didn't come, Pikachu might not be able to defeat Latius. Hunter J was completely fooled by Mu Chen's passive, off-the-beaten-path behavior. However, little did she know that just as she excitedly gave the command to Salamence for an all-out attack, electricity began to crackle on Pikachu's cheeks. Pika, with perseverance, it's coming. Almost there. Almost done. Hang in there, I'll make sure you're satisfied. The charging skill was activated, and Mu Chen became excited. Latius, speak human language. Hearing Pikachu's slightly strange words, Latius, under the onslaught of Salamence, rolled its eyes. What kind of nonsense is this yellow-skinned mouse spouting? Chapter 429 Latius is subdued. Mildano. Go, Miskirt, use energy ball. Go, Froakie, use bubble attack. Just as Latius was being overwhelmed, and just as Mu Chen was preparing his ultimate move, Ash also encountered danger. As the strongest member of the Hunter Association, Hunter J's strength was comparable to that of a champion, even surpassing those like Kikayo who had just become champions. Scorpion was Hunter J's main force before he acquired Salamence. Although lacking a trainer's command, it could only fight on instinct. Even so, Ash was under immense pressure facing this big guy. Scorpion's type was dark poison. Gardevoir's psychic attacks had absolutely no effect on it. Ignoring Gardevoir's harassment, Scorpion naturally focused all its attention on how to deal with Milotic. Taking advantage of its ability to burrow into the ground, Scorpion launched a surprise attack on Milotic. Suddenly emerging from the ground, before Milotic could retaliate, Scorpion unleashed its pincers, instantly immobilizing Milotic. A powerful dark-type attack followed, and Melodic let out a pitiful scream. Seeing Melodic writhing under Scorpion's jaws, Ash panicked. While Sylveon's grass-type moves were also weak to Scorpion, at least it wasn't immune. Similarly, Serena, who had been watching Ash closely, was also anxious. Melodic defeated, Gardevoir's attack ineffective, and Sylveon weak to Scorpion, Ash was in a very difficult situation. To help Ash, Serena naturally summoned her strongest opponent, Froakie, without hesitation. At least it could serve as a distraction. However, an unexpected event occurred. Just as it was about to take down Melodic in one fell swoop, several troublemakers suddenly appeared, making Scorpion very unhappy. Without a word, Scorpion flicked its tail, delivering a perfect home run, and Froakie, who had just launched its charge, was unsurprisingly sent flying. If it were just being sent flying, that wouldn't be so bad. But as it flew, it crashed into Serena, who was behind it. Collided with Froakie, Serena fell to the ground. Just as Serena fell, an unused Pokeball slid from her waist to the ground. If that were all, it wouldn't be a big deal. At most, Serena would only suffer a slight impact. But the problem was, at this moment, Miss Skirt was still desperately using Energy Ball to harass Scorpion. Boom. 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 Although the power wasn't strong, and its type was weak against it, the aftershocks of the explosion wouldn't stop. Impacted by the aftershocks of the explosion, the not-so-large Pokeball began to roll. Finally, without anyone noticing, the rolling Pokemon crashed into its crouching dragon brother, Latios. Damn it, haha. Great, Serena, you caught Latios? Latios's massive size made its sudden disappearance very conspicuous. Drawn to Latios, Hunter J and Ash both focused their attention on it. Upon seeing it, Hunter J was furious, while Ash was overjoyed. Although he also wanted to catch Latios, Serena was his companion. In Ash's view, whether he caught it or Serena caught it, as long as it didn't benefit that despicable Hunter J, that was enough. Conversely, Hunter J couldn't accept this situation. You wretched brat. You wretched little girl. Hand over Latios's Pokeball. Enraged, Hunter J ignored the dominant Salamence and instead glared fiercely at Ash and Serena, whom he was helping up. I'm a professional at intercepting others, and I've been intercepted myself. How can I tolerate this? You know, Latios, the dragon brother, has long been considered my prize. Give it to you? No way, no way. Whether he catches Latios himself or Serena catches it, Ash will never hand it over. Scorpion, use Poison Sting, kill Melodic. Ash refused without hesitation, and Hunter J was even more furious. Without another word, Hunter J decisively gave Scorpion the kill order. But just then, wah! Beside the deep pit stood Pikachu, looking arrogant and smug, and Latios, looking completely bewildered. Pika Pika, damn it, keep pretending. Why aren't you pretending with me anymore? Weren't you having a good time scratching and biting my girl? HMPH, did you enjoy that mega electric ball? Thanks to Latios's insistence, Mu Chen finally got a peaceful charging environment. Once charged, Mu Chen naturally didn't hold back. With high-speed movement activated, a flash of electricity launched a black electric ball filled with deep affection, and the unsuspecting Salamence collapsed without any surprise. How is this possible? While Mu Chen excitedly showed off, Hunter J was completely shocked. Hunter J knew perfectly well how powerful Salamence was. Even against its brother Latios at his peak and its sister Latios at the same time, it could still defeat them. This is why Hunter J chased this legendary Pokémon, originally from the Hoenn region, all the way to the Johto region. However, in the mere minute or two he shifted his attention, Salamence was knocked down by Pikachu's electric attack. Starmie, come out. Use Water Gun on Scorpion. Hunter J was shocked, but the clever Misty immediately seized the opportunity. Psyduck's psychic attack on the Dark-type Scorpion was ineffective, but Starmie's Water-type moves were still effective. Taking advantage of Hunter J's distraction, Starmie decisively attacked. A Water Gun shot finally freed the trapped Melodic. Haha, that's great, Misty. Ash was naturally overjoyed with Melodic free. Damn it. Damn it. You wretched brat, just you wait, I'll be back sooner or later. Leaving behind a villainous threat, Hunter J prepared to flee. With Salamence knocked down and Scorpion defeated, Hunter J saw no hope of victory. Pikachu, you think you can just run away when you can't win? Did you even ask me? Chapter 430 Hunter J's defeated. Come back, Salamence. Hunter J, wanting to escape, naturally tried to recall the twitching Salamence. However, she overlooked Mu Chen standing not far from the Salamence. Pikachu, what the hell? Recalling Salamence right in front of me? Does he look down on me that much? Without hesitation, a rapid-fire thunderbolt was launched, targeting the red beam emitted from the Pokeball in Hunter J's hand. This beam was the key to the connection between the Pokeball and the Pokémon. Cutting it would prevent the Pokémon from being recalled. This is why, in critical battles, trainers often cannot recall their Pokémon. Zzzzz, boom, the thunderbolt shot out, unsurprisingly blocking the beam emitted by the Pokeball. Ah! Damn it! Seeing the beam blocked, Hunter J panicked. This Pikachu's intelligence is actually this high? Normally, Pokémon battles are just instinct. Without the trainer's prompting, it wouldn't have reacted so quickly to intercept the beam that summoned Salamence. The problem is, Ash hadn't even reacted yet, and this Pikachu acted on its own? Is this still Pikachu? If it were Latias, the dragon sister, that intercepted it, Hunter J wouldn't be so astonished. After all, Latias is a legendary Pokémon, a higher intelligence is understandable. But the problem is, this is just a Pikachu. Even if this Pikachu has been well trained and has immense combat power, its intelligence. Pikachu, Mu Chen ignored Hunter J's astonishment. Having intercepted the summon beam, Thunderbolt was activated again. This time, Mu Chen's target was the Salamence convulsing in the deep pit. HMPH. You think you can just leave? I'll electrocute you. In Mu Chen's view, Hunter J was only so arrogant because of Salamence's strength. Once Salamence was killed, Hunter J would be completely at his mercy. Zzzzz. With Mu Chen's encouragement, 100,000 volts seemed to be used without restraint, blasting towards the already convulsing Salamence. Wah! What are you standing there for? Hurry up and come help, Latias finally reacted after being reminded by Mu Chen. Now was not the time for her to be stunned. No matter what, killing this Salamence was the priority. Although Latias loved peace and rarely killed anyone in battle, it depended on the situation. She had killed Mu Chen before because her brother had been electrocuted. Now, facing this Salamence, Latias showed no mercy. This despicable creature, this accomplice. If it weren't for it, how could she and her brother have been forced to leave their home? How could her brother have been captured so easily? Even she herself, after this battle, would have had to submit to that human. It would be a lie to say Latias didn't hate all of this. Of course, she didn't hate Pikachu or Ash. After all, they were just lucky to be caught, and she had no right to complain about being captured by someone less skilled. What she hated was the instigator of all this, Hunter J. If it weren't for this damned Hunter, she wouldn't have had to leave her home. If it weren't for this damned Hunter, she wouldn't have suffered all of this. Without a word, facing the Salamence, which was already helpless in the deep pit, Latias also erupted. Waves of dragon-type energy surged from his body, and finally, the energy gathered in one place was unleashed by Latias, striking the Salamence. This skill was none other than Latias's ultimate move, Heavenly Dragon Meteor. Pikachu, holy crap. So ruthless? Mu Chen did indeed send the dragon sister to attack. But he really didn't expect it. This little girl either doesn't attack at all, or she goes straight for the kill. This is way more ruthless than me. Damn it. You just wait, I'll be back. The Salamence was beyond saving, and Hunter J decisively chose to cut her losses. After uttering another harsh word, white smoke suddenly rose from Hunter J's body. Pika, what the hell? You're from Team Rocket too. How come you know smoke release? Having seen Hunter J use this move before, Mu Chen knew exactly what it was. But, he wasn't about to let her escape so easily. The system had warned him before that if Hunter J didn't seize the opportunity to stay, she'd be in endless trouble later. Mu Chen, using his high-speed movement and quick attack, was disappointed this time. Team Rocket's smoke release usually involves rising smoke and then disappearing underground. Mu Chen already had a way to deal with this. But, Hunter J wasn't from Team Rocket after all. Her escape method was Pika, what the hell? You just wait, if you dare come again, I'll electrocute you. Watching Hunter J disappear into the sky on Pidgeot's back, Mu Chen, having missed his target, could only curse angrily. What the hell? She changed her tactics. I was just about to burrow underground, and you just flew up like that. Can't we even have some fun anymore? Great. Pikachu, we won. Hunter J was defeated, but Ash wasn't disappointed. Lacious, yellow-skinned mouse, keep your promise and let your trainer catch me. Salamence was defeated, Hunter J was defeated, and Lacious finally faced reality. Although the previous promise was to let her brother go, unfortunately, he had already been unexpectedly caught. Lacious was helpless in this situation. After all, it wasn't intentional, right? Moreover, the trainer who caught her brother wasn't this yellow-skinned mouse's owner, so she couldn't really deny it. In a more heartwarming scenario, Mu Chen would naturally let the poor little Lacious go, giving her freedom and a not-so-perfect happy ending. But is Mu Chen that kind of person? HMPH. Tonight, I'll see what you look like as a human. Chapter 431 The Embarrassed and Angry Dragon Sister. Hunter J was defeated, Lacious was inexplicably captured by Serena, and Lacious was naturally captured by Ash. After a day of fierce battles, even the usually clueless Ash didn't mention traveling anymore. After waiting for half a night, Mu Chen was excited. A crescent moon hung high, and a sly, golden figure tiptoed to Ash's sleeping side. Looking at the Pokeball in his hand, Mu Chen was thrilled. For you, I even pretended to be tired today, and didn't have that midnight transformation romance with Misty. Yes, because considering that Lacious could transform into human, Mu Chen deliberately saved his precious 5 minutes of transformation time today. Now, the long-awaited moment was finally about to arrive. Lacious, yellow-skinned rat, what are you doing? Summoned by a yellow-skinned rat in the middle of the night, Lacious was completely confused. What's wrong? You're not sleeping, but I am, okay? Lack of sleep is a major enemy for women who love beauty. Pikachu, keep your voice down, why are you shouting so loudly? Although he had taken the dragon sister far away, Mu Chen still dared not make too much noise. If someone found out and it got back to Xiaox's ears, wouldn't he be in big trouble? Ladia, what do you want? If there's nothing else, I'm going back. I want to sleep. Facing this yellow-skinned rat, the dragon sister Ladius obviously had no patience for him to stay up all night in the wind and chatter. Pikachu, I heard you can transform into human, is that right? Are there any limitations to your transformation? For example, time limitations, or something else? Facing the dragon sister, wanting to seduce her was one aspect, because that was the task required by the system. As for the other aspect, Mu Chen just wanted to understand her transformation ability and see how it differed from his own. You see, Mu Chen's transformation, to put it bluntly, was a counterfeit product created using the system's abilities. But this dragon sister? This is a genuine legendary Pokémon. Ladia, transform into a human? What do you want? Whether I can transform or not is none of your business. If there's nothing else, I'm going back. Let me tell you, don't bother me. Clearly, the dragon sister is a young lady lacking basic patience. Of course, you can't blame her. She was just enjoying herself with her brother when this Pikachu suddenly appeared, defeated, and captured her. It would be strange if she gave it a friendly look. Even after this guy helped her defeat a formidable enemy, Hunter J, and even killed her main Salamence, the dragon sister Ladius still didn't give Pikachu a kind look. Pika, can't we have a pleasant conversation? Are you forcing me to take action? Nothing else? No. I have something else to do. Something big. Slap. Do you know what that means? I'm going to take you down today. If you cooperate, turn into human, then we can communicate happily. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Forget about being a simp or trying to woo a girl. With Xiaoxia, Mu Chen had absolutely no interest in wasting his breath on this dragon girl. Radia, damn it. Bastard. Disgusting. Filthy. Do you even know what you're saying? The dragon girl originally thought that Pikachu summoning her in the middle of the night was just to establish its authority, to tell her who is the leader of the team. She had never intended to compete for that. So she was too lazy to waste words with this yellow-skinned rat. But unexpectedly, this yellow-skinned rat's goal was Pika. Isn't that what you wanted to ask? I told you, and you still have this attitude? Hurry up, what do you mean? Do you want me to beat you up and then force myself on you, or are you going to cooperate? I'm telling you, I'm going to have you. Looking at the dragon sister who was like a ruffled chicken, Mu Chen decisively adopted a thuggish demeanor. Damn it, she won't listen to reason, insisting I use force? I was even thinking of cultivating some rapport since she could become human. Ladia, Damn it. You wretched yellow-skinned rat, you'd better die. Humiliated by the yellow-skinned rat, the dragon sister felt her pride severely wounded. Without a word, the injured dragon sister decisively chose to fight to the death. Her neck was raised high, and she unleashed a furious heavenly dragon meteor at Mu Chen. Pika Pika, what the hell? She's serious? Seeing the dragon sister's stance, Mu Chen knew she was going to fight him to the death. Seriously, do you have to be so fierce? I can't give you anal fissures. However, complaining aside, he still had to avoid her. With a single powerful attack like the celestial meteor, Mu Chen knew he absolutely couldn't withstand it. If he got hit, and then knocked down? He'd be knocked down instantly. Lacius, you filthy bastard, you think you can run? Die? The celestial meteor's attack was ineffective, and the humiliated and indignant dragon sister was even more furious. The psychic energy around her surged wildly, converging towards Lacius's head. This was Lacius's enhanced ultimate move, meditation. Pikachu, holy crap. Is she going all out? Seeing Lacius use her enhanced ultimate move, Mu Chen knew this girl was probably enraged and really wanted to fight him to the death. This was unacceptable. If it really came down to a fight to the death, Mu Chen couldn't accept either winning or losing. If he lost, well, that goes without saying, a farewell song would be served. Even if I win, if I cripple the dragon sister Lacius, how the hell am I supposed to complete my mission? You see, Mu Chen doesn't intend to target Lacius's flying form. What he wants is her transformed human form. Zzz. Without hesitation, high-speed movement was activated, and a flash of electricity followed. With the intention of striking first, Mu Chen decisively charged at Lacius. Meditation? HMPH. I'll hold back for now. Quickly reaching Lacius, Mu Chen used the same tactic again, sending out an electromagnetic wave, paralyzing Lacius once more. Zzz. Paralysis alone wasn't enough. Mu Chen knew that he couldn't let Lacius complete her charge, otherwise it would truly be a fight to the death. Therefore, Mu Chen's choice was to follow the electromagnetic wave with a 100,000-volt attack. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 432, A Long Talk at Midnight. Ladia, damn it. You wretched yellow-skinned rat, kill me already. I'd rather die than let you insult me. An electromagnetic wave interrupted the dragon sister's meditation and power gathering, and Mu Chen, as if it were free, unleashed a barrage of 100,000 volts on the dragon sister Lacius. The battle during the day had already greatly depleted the dragon sister, and she hadn't recovered yet. Being brutally beaten by Mu Chen again, she finally couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed to the ground in a sorry state. Looking at the yellow-skinned rat approaching her step by step, a hint of despair appeared in the dragon sister Lacius's eyes. As a proud dragon, as a proud divine beast, how could the dragon sister be willing to be insulted by such a lowly yellow-skinned rat? Although this yellow-skinned rat was so powerful that even she was impressed. But lowly is lowly. In the dragon sister's mind, this kind of common yellow-skinned rat was a lowly existence. Pika Pika, kill you? What the hell? Why the hell would I kill you for no reason? I just want to have sex with you, okay? Alright, stop with that desperate look. I'm telling you now, whether you agree or not, I'm going to have sex with you. Choose between cooperating or letting me force myself on you. He'd originally planned to talk things out and build some rapport. But what happened? This dragon girl completely ignored him. Eager to complete his mission, Mu Chen had no patience for coaxing girls. Ladia, no way. I'd rather die than let you insult me. Hearing Mu Chen's lewd words, the dragon girl Lacius almost fainted from anger. She'd seen shameless people, but never anyone this shameless. Want to slap me? Dream on. At this moment, the dragon girl was prepared to die. Although she didn't know any skills like explosions that would harm both herself and the enemy, as a highly intelligent divine beast, the dragon girl naturally had her own methods. Energy. Whether it's dragon-type energy or psychic-type energy, as long as it gets out of control within one's body, it can also cause an explosion. Although this explosion doesn't cause much damage to the enemy, it can completely free the dragon sister Lacius. Pikachu. Pikachu, oh my god. Are you serious? I'm a god too, okay? Am I not good enough for you? Sensing the churning energy within the dragon sister, Mu Chen panicked. Holy crap. So fierce? What else? It's okay if you die, but what about the system's mission? Although there's no punishment, I'm still waiting for the reward. Without saying a word, Mu Chen quickly comforted the emotionally agitated dragon sister, stating his noble status. Just kidding, I'm a Pikachu god after all. Although it's only a beginner one. Lacius, what did you say? You're a legendary Pokémon too? How is that possible? Hearing Mu Chen say this, the dragon sister's first reaction was that he was talking nonsense. How could a lowly Pikachu be a legendary Pokémon? Although the dragon sister had sensed something different about Pikachu during their previous battle, in her mind, this difference was simply due to Pikachu's overwhelming strength. Pika, are you fucking stubborn? Trying to drive me crazy? Damn it. Open your eyes and take a good look. Take a good, damn it, feel it. Am I lower class than you? Mu Chen could guess the reason for the dragon sister's strong resistance. Damn it, she just thinks she's some kind of noble dragon, some kind of divine beast? What's a little extra fur? No matter what you say, she's still a beast. I wouldn't even like your airplane-like design. If it weren't for the fact that you can transform into a human girl, would I have the patience to argue with you? Although he was full of complaints, in order to get the dragon sister to accept him, Mu Chen had no choice but to resort to his tiger body tremor trick. There was no way around it, this dragon sister was stubborn and insisted on seeing my level. After possessing the divine essence of the novice Pikachu, Mu Chen gained more than just an increase in ability. Now, he could also exude the aura unique to divine beasts. In Mu Chen's words, this bee was completely useless in actual combat, it was just for showing off. Normally, Mu Chen was too lazy to even unleash this aura. But now, to make this dragon sister realize the truth, Mu Chen's tiger body decisively activated its vibration mode. Ladia, how is this possible? You're not Pikachu. Pikachu can't become a divine beast. What are you? Seeing the constantly vibrating yellow mouse, the dragon sister Ladia was dumbfounded. How could this be? This yellow mouse was actually on the same level as her? Pika, what the hell do you care what I am? Hurry up and give me a straight answer, cooperate? Or let me force myself on you. After shaking it for a while, leaving a mess of yellow fur, Mu Chen became even more impatient. This little girl is so slow and indecisive. Ladia, are you serious? Having confirmed that this yellow-skinned rat was also a divine beast, the dragon sister Ladias's resistance vanished instantly. If it was a divine beast, then submitting to it wouldn't be a disservice to herself. At least, this yellow-skinned rat was incredibly powerful. In this world where strength reigns supreme, Mu Chen was equivalent to a rich and handsome man in reality. As long as he displayed his strength, countless admirers would swarm him. While the dragon sister wasn't exactly a swarm of admirers, given the choice between cooperating or being forced, she would choose the method more advantageous to herself. Pikachu, of course I'm serious. Why would I be playing around with you in the middle of the night? Ladia, but with your size. Looking at herself, then at the yellow-skinned rat, the dragon sister couldn't speak. Damn it. So I'm asking you, can I become a human girl, and what are the limitations after that? Feeling scorned, Mu Chen was deeply hurt. Unfortunately, his innate limitations were what they were, and Mu Chen could only silently endure it. Damn it, I didn't want to transmigrate into this yellow-skinned rat's body. What the hell can I do? Ladia, I can indeed transform into a human, but I'm not very skilled at it. If I become human, I might not be able to speak. Human voices are different from Pokémon voices. At this moment, Ladius cannot speak using a human voice. Pikachu, being able to call out is enough, whether he speaks or not doesn't matter. Just kidding, if we really did it, then everything would be understood without words. As long as you can hum and ha, that's enough for Mu Chen. Chapter 433 Take it down. Lacius, doesn't that sound strange? Finally, under Mu Chen's intimidating power, the dragon sister Lacius chose to submit. Even after transforming into a young girl, the dragon sister still spoke the same words as before her transformation, making even herself feel strange. Pikachu, it's okay. It's okay. Even if you can't speak dragon language, I don't mind. Looking at the charming girl in front of him, Mu Chen was excited. Although, judging from the dragon sister's transformed form, She wasn't as developed as Misty or Serena, she was still at least a young lady. As a man with a genuine human soul, Mu Chen's aesthetic sense was naturally very normal. This was what he wanted. Lacius, you're not just going to transform into a human like this? The dragon sister Lacius lost some of her fierceness and gained a touch of fragility. Watching Pikachu excitedly rubbing its hands together and walking towards her step by step, the dragon sister panicked. Although Lacius, as a legendary Pokémon, has lived for a very long time and understands many things, this is still a completely new experience for her. It's impossible not to be nervous. Already incredibly nervous, seeing Pikachu's fluffy body about to pounce on her, Lacius completely panicked. Pika, what? You're complaining about me? Hearing Lacius's question, Mu Chen's tone held a hint of displeasure. You can transform into a human without any restrictions, you can stay transformed for hours. I can't do that. 5 minutes. What can you do in 5 minutes? Do I want to finish all the foreplay before using those 5 minutes? If I transform now, it'll be cool, but is there enough time? Touch a little hand? Say a few words? And then look cool on myself? Mu Chen would never do something so stupid. Lacius, it's not that I'm disgusted. It's just that, do you feel this is appropriate? Before transforming, the dragon girl Lacius was over 1.5 meters tall, which was absolutely inappropriate compared to Pikachu's tiny height of a few dozen centimeters. Although Mu Chen didn't mind even the 6-meter melodic, the dragon girl Lacius did. Moreover, Mu Chen admitted that he couldn't even stand up to the plane-like shape of the dragon girl Lacius before transforming, which was a very serious problem. Now that the dragon girl has transformed into a cute young lady, Mu Chen's mental barrier has been completely eliminated. But the dragon girl Lacius still has an obstacle. My young lady may be a girlish type, but she's still at least 1.5 meters tall, right? You're still a yellow-skinned mouse of a few dozen centimeters. Pika, holy crap. You despise me? What do you mean by appropriate or inappropriate? Just enjoy it in peace. Seeing that the dragon girl was still fixated on her height and appearance, Mu Chen lost his patience. Why so much nonsense? Can't you just get straight to the point? Alright, little darling, let's stop talking and prepare to face the whirlwind. Without further hesitation, Mu Chen activated high-speed movement and flash of light. Without any hesitation, Mu Chen charged towards the conflicted dragon girl, Lacius. Lacius, wait. I'm not ready yet. Seeing the lightning-fast Pikachu, the dragon girl Lacius completely panicked. Unfortunately, even her true form wasn't a match for it, let alone her human form, which she hadn't mastered yet. Faced with Pikachu's charge, the dragon girl Lacius couldn't even dodge. Pika. Wait my ass. I've been waiting for ages. Without a doubt, rushing towards Lacius, Mu Chen decisively used a skill he was very proficient in, a frenzied, chaotic grabbing attack. Swish, Lacius, the sound of slicing cloth flying everywhere, along with Lacius's exclamation, echoed simultaneously in the silent night sky. Pikachu, alright, that's enough. Stop your whining and I'll show you what a real transformation looks like. After a round of frenzied attacks, the foreplay was completely over. Mu Chen pursed his lips and finally decided to sound the final attack horn against Lacius. Lacius, transform? You can transform too? Then why don't you just transform now? Having been whining like a victimized wife, Lacius's attention was immediately drawn to Pikachu's shout of transform. If Pikachu could also transform, then her little dragon sister would feel much better. At least, she wouldn't have this mental block, right? But the problem is, if you can transform, why didn't you do it sooner? Why torture her like this for so long? Damn it. You think I don't want to transform right away? I can only transform for 5 minutes at a time. Just as he activated his transformation, he heard his little dragon sister's question, and Mu Chen's handsome face, like a manga protagonist, was filled with helplessness. Lacius, wow. So handsome. At this moment, the little dragon sister Lacius's mental block completely disappeared. Looking at the incomparably handsome blonde guy in front of her, the tears in the little dragon sister Lacius's eyes disappeared. In the place, countless little stars were twinkling. To put it simply, this dragon sister has completely become a fangirl. HMPH. Cool, right? Alright, baby, I'm short on time, let's get down to business. The dragon sister's performance naturally satisfied Mu Chen. That's right, this is the normal script rhythm. What I need are fangirls like you who are willing to sacrifice yourselves. Without another word, Mu Chen, transformed into human, once again enhanced his high-speed movement, and with a flash of lightning, he activated it. Lacious. 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 As Mu Chen's attack unfolded, the pitiful screams of the dragon sister Lacious echoed through the night sky. Obviously, facing Mu Chen's ferocious attack, the dragon sister Lacious's defense was simply unable to withstand it. What the hell? PFFT. This is nothing. Little baby, try my Dynamax. Finally fighting in a human body, Mu Chen was excited and tears welled up in his eyes. But this is not enough. The ultimate move, Dynamax, hadn't even been used yet. Ratio, Dynamax? What's that? Ratio, hearing Dynamax, the dragon sister Lacious looked completely bewildered. However, before she could finish her question, Mu Chen had already activated it. Chapter 434 Interrogation of the System. Xiaoxia. Serena. Hurry up, we'll reach the Silver League headquarters in 2 days at most. Having caught Lacious, Ash's confidence in his upcoming challenge has soared. After a night's rest, with nothing else on his mind, all he could think about was challenging the Silver League's Elite Four members. Ash. Are you in such a hurry? We're on a trip. Can't you slow down? Looking at Ash's eager pace and Serena following behind him without complaint, Xiaoxia was speechless. This idiot, all he does is battle and challenge, can't he think of anything else? This is a trip. Shouldn't a trip be about wandering around, seeing things, eating, and playing as you please? But what's wrong with Ash? Even deliverymen aren't this eager. Damn it. If it weren't for you, I would have been back in Cerulean City long ago. Looking at the yawning Pikachu in her arms, Xiaoxia was filled with indignation. If it weren't for you, this jerk, why would I be suffering like this? Pikachu, okay, honey, just bear with it, it'll pass. Once I help this idiot get that girl Serena, we'll be all together. Mu Chen was helpless against Xiaoxia's complaints. He forced himself to keep going and made a few gestures, finally calming Xiaoxia down, before collapsing into a state of exhaustion again. This is damn tiring. In just 5 minutes, Mu Chen had used up all his strength. Because of the time limit, Mu Chen didn't stop for a moment, holding nothing back, without any pause. Under this frenzied attack, the dragon Lacious was naturally overwhelmed and was directly attacked by Mu Chen until her eyes rolled back and she was stunned. However, as the attacker, Mu Chen was also greatly exhausted. At least, he had never felt so tired when fighting Melodic and other old women before. Of course, it was through this battle that Mu Chen became even more determined. This second round of the main quest must be completed. This is insane damage output, both the attacker and the receiver can't handle it. Even the dragon sister, a divine beast, was stunned. What would happen to Xiaoxia? Mu Chen might show no mercy to the dragon sister, but not Xiaoxia. Of course, the completion of the main quest is still a long way off. Therefore, Mu Chen's current focus is on the quest reward system. Come out. I've completed this quest, haven't I? Shouldn't we discuss the reward? Let me tell you, we can't just do the work without paying. My old kidneys are almost broken from all this. Aren't you going to give me something? With the dragon sister Lacious defeated, Mu Chen's next task was to discuss the reward with the system. Quest complete, reward issued, please confirm receipt. As Mu Chen's words fell in his mind, the system's electronic voice followed. Clearly, the system was very satisfied with Mu Chen's quest completion. However, while the system was satisfied, Mu Chen was not. Damn it. Can't we have something more substantial? What's the point of all this beating around the bush? With our relationship, can't you just give me the best of everything? I'm not asking for much, just give me that electric ball, Pseudo 3, so I can complete my collection. Seeing the system give him another spinning wheel, Mu Chen was fed up. We know each other inside and out, why are you playing these silly games? What's the point of spinning? Just give it to me directly. Having understood the system's true nature, Mu Chen became increasingly ruthless towards it. You beg me anyway. And you can't recover without me. We're partners, can't you at least do something mutually beneficial and practical? Faced with Mu Chen's demands, the system was speechless. Stop playing dead. I know you're always here, even if you play dead you won't have anywhere to go. Wait? We'll talk about the reward later, I just remembered something. He had originally planned to use a combination of threats and inducements on the system. But suddenly, Mu Chen realized that there seemed to be something very important he had overlooked. What is it? Mu Chen suddenly changed the subject, leaving even the system bewildered. The system knew Mu Chen very well. He was a complete scoundrel. The fact that he suddenly interrupted the conversation when he wanted something meant it must be something extremely important. Holy crap. Holy crap. Confess. Did you watch me fight Melodic, Gardevoir, and Latius last night? Were you watching everything I did? What Mu Chen suddenly thought of was his privacy. It seemed like all his activities had been exposed to the system's watchful eye. While Mu Chen was a scoundrel, he was definitely not a perverted exhibitionist. The thought of being constantly spied on, no, openly spied on, by the system while he was doing such private things infuriated Mu Chen. This was just too much. I'm just a system. Faced with Mu Chen, the system was completely speechless. Get lost. Don't give me that crap, system my ass. Do you think I'm an idiot? Either you're some supreme being in this world, or you're a supreme being who fell from another world. What kind of bullshit system is this? To put it bluntly, you're my great-grandfather, having transmigrated from the information-rich modern world. What didn't Mu Chen understand? He had long suspected the system. This guy wasn't some electronic program at all. Since it required him to complete a mission to disrupt the world's timeline and then use that to restore its power, it must be an extremely powerful being. What is a timeline? To put it bluntly, in a fantasy world, that's the heavenly Deo. Could an existence that opposes the heavenly Deo be a nobody? That's precisely why Mu Chen was too lazy to keep pretending with the system. No matter what, you can't do without my help, so why bother with this electronic program? Wouldn't it be better to just be straightforward? Alright. I have to admit, while you can be unreliable at times, you're not stupid. I can't tell you exactly who I am right now. But I can answer your question. Who the hell wants to see you, a yellow-skinned rat, with that pupa? I've seen plenty. I've slept with countless times more people than you. So stop wasting your time worrying about this useless stuff. And that reward, what's the meaning of not wanting it? Finally, under Mu Chen's pressure, the system erupted. Damn it, pretending with a stupid system is exhausting. You think you're so good at sweet talk? I can too. Chapter 435 Want to carry Xiaoxia on your back? System. Are you doing this on purpose? Furious. Utterly furious. Mu Chen swore at this moment that if this damn system dared to show itself in front of him, he would absolutely tear it to shreds. Originally, Mu Chen had planned to negotiate with the system to get a power ball, Pseudo 3, to turn its electric ball into a genuine one. But Alice, he couldn't fight City Hall, the system wouldn't budge, and Mu Chen ultimately compromised. Fine, I'll draw it then. I got lucky the last 2 times, so this time, my luck won't be too bad, right? But who would have thought that this draw? Mu Chen finally experienced what it meant to get it on the first try. He got a base stat increase, and not just any increase, but a minimum of 30 points. This was truly unacceptable to Mu Chen. 30 points? What can that do? Even with those 30 points, his current base stats are only 555. He'd gone through so much trouble, fighting against the Dragon Brothers Latius, and that Hunter J in the end. He almost broke his kidneys after a fierce battle with that dragon girl, Latius. All that effort, and all he got in the end was 30 base stat points? Who could accept that? Mu Chen, for one, was absolutely out of the question. But to Mu Chen's dismay, no matter how much he yelled, the system didn't respond at all. Damn it. Fine. You're so tough. You just wait. Next time, besides the main quest, whatever, I'm not serving you anymore. After yelling for a while, the system still didn't reply, so Mu Chen could only resort to this method to threaten the system. Ash. Let's rest for a bit, have some lunch, and then continue our journey. You're not tired, but we are? Mu Chen had been arguing with the system all morning, while Misty had been following Ash, this blockhead, the whole way. The Silver League in Chengdu was at the top of the Silver Mountains, meaning that to challenge it, they would have to climb the mountain. Hiking is a pleasant journey if you take breaks and enjoy the scenery. But if someone like Ash, a complete idiot, just keeps walking without stopping, Misty says she can't take it. Hey, Misty, how come your stamina is so bad? Look at Serena, she hasn't even complained of being tired. Ash's plan was to walk all the way until nightfall, then stop and rest. That way, They could reach the Silver League by tomorrow afternoon and challenge the Elite Four. But Misty kept contradicting him. While not exactly angry, Ash was still quite exasperated. Why was this girl so troublesome? I don't care. I'm not walking anymore. I can't walk anymore. Hearing Ash mention Serena, Misty was even more furious. Serena isn't tired? Which eye of yours saw that? She's only persevering because she likes you, you idiot. Didn't you see Serena's face is covered in sweat? Aren't you tired? How can you even say that? Serena has feelings for Ash, so she can silently persist. But Misty won't. My boyfriend is that bastard Pikachu. What does that have to do with you, Ash? If it weren't for my future happiness, I'd have dumped you for Pikachu right now, okay? Misty, how about this? I'll carry you, we can keep going, and rest at night. Seeing Misty sit down and start massaging her long legs instead of moving, the unwilling Ash had to think of another way. However, his terrible idea caused everyone present to panic. Serena, needless to say, naturally changed her expression drastically. Her previously sweaty face instantly turned deathly pale, devoid of any color. Even Misty's expression changed drastically. This idiot Ash, is he even speaking human language? Carry me. Don't you even notice the difference between men and women? I'm all developed now. Even without Serena, Misty would never do anything so intimate with that idiot Ash. Pikachu, of course, the one with the strongest reaction was Mu Chen. What the hell do you mean? Misty, you're my girl. What the hell do you want? You want to fly to the sky? I'm still just touching hands, and that idiot Ash is already planning to go all the way? Unacceptable. Mu Chen declared he absolutely couldn't tolerate it. Whether this idiot said it intentionally or unintentionally, Mu Chen decided to teach him a lesson. My girl, you dare to covet her? I'll electrocute you. Zzzzz. Without another word, electricity crackled, and a 100,000-volt attack was unleashed, targeting the completely oblivious Ash, who hadn't even realized his words had caused such a dramatic change in everyone's expressions. Ah! A scream rang out. Even Ash, a monster with maxed-out special defense, couldn't withstand Pikachu's thunderbolt. While he wouldn't be seriously injured, being knocked out was inevitable. Ah! Ash, how are you? Are you alright? Are you hurt? Pikachu, why did you attack Ash? Although Ash's words stung Serena, she still felt incredibly sorry for her silly boy. Seeing Ash with his hair turned into a punk-like mess and his body charred black, Serena felt a pang of heartache. Oh, Serena, Pikachu probably just wanted to rest, so it let Ash calm down. Don't worry about it, they often do this, Ash is fine. Serena didn't understand why, and neither did Ash. But how could Misty not understand? Pikachu's jealousy was incredibly strong. Seeing Pikachu fly into rage over her words filled Misty's heart with sweetness. HMPH. You want to carry me? Sure. But you'll have to get past my Pikachu first, cough cough. Serena, I'm fine, I'm used to it. Since everyone wants to rest, let's take a break for now. After being hit by Mu Chen's thunderbolt, Ash, that silly boy, finally gave up the idea of continuing on his way. However, Ash didn't notice that Serena's eyes were constantly flashing. When Misty was tired and couldn't walk, Ash would offer to carry her to save time. But what if it were me? Thinking of this, Serena's pretty face instantly turned red. Chapter 436 Ash's third critical strike. Ouch! After a short rest, Ash and his friends naturally continued their journey to the Silver League. However, the journey hadn't lasted long when Serena cried out in surprise. Oh! Serena, what happened? Hearing Serena's cry, Ash, who was walking ahead, instinctively turned around and asked. Ouch! I twisted my ankle, rubbing her swollen ankle. Serena's eyes were already filled with tears. This really hurt. What should we do? Serena, can you still keep going? Seeing Serena sitting on the ground, Ash's face was full of worry. What happened? She just finished resting. How did she fall down? My Silver League challenge. Does this mean we'll have to be delayed for several days again? Ash, I think Serena is in a condition where she can continue. If you're in a hurry, why don't you carry Serena on your back? Ash, the silly guy walking ahead, didn't notice, but Misty, who had been lagging behind the group, had seen Serena's whole performance. Ankle sprain, that's for sure. But the reason for the sprain is something to discuss. Aksha saw it very clearly. Serena deliberately fell. She just didn't control her strength well, and the act became real. Zaya-Aksha was full of admiration for this. Serena, you really went all out for that silly Ash. How could Zaya-Aksha not support Serena's dedication? No doubt about it, Ash, you silly bastard, you wanted to carry me, didn't you? I definitely won't let you carry me. But Serena, did her intention to fall need to be any more obvious? As a smart person, Zaya-Aksha understood Serena's intentions instantly. That's why Zaya-Aksha spoke up to Ash at this moment. You, Serena, are shy, and you don't know what to say when Ash asks, but I, Zaya-Aksha, don't care. For her future happiness, Zaya-Aksha wished she could tie these two together. Yet, Zaya-Aksha's right. Serena, how about I carry you on my back for now? If Zaya-Aksha can carry her, Serena can too. In Zaya-Aksha's eyes, this straight-laced guy, there's no such thing as men and women not touching. As long as it doesn't delay our journey, what difference does it make who he carries? Faced with Zaya-Aksha's question, Serena naturally nodded shyly in agreement. With her goal achieved, her ankle sacrifice wasn't in vain. Pikachu, tell me, will this blockhead Zaya-Aksha ever get it? Walking behind, watching Zaya-Aksha carry Serena on his back, Zaya-Aksha was filled with anxiety. At this moment, Zaya-Aksha both wanted Zaya-Aksha to get it right away and worried that this blockhead would stick to his ways. Pika, what's the rush? With two big lumps of flesh pressing on him, how could this blockhead not feel it? Don't worry, this blockhead will get it soon. Zaya-Aksha was worried, but Mu Chen wasn't worried at all. Just kidding. Serena's breasts are even more impressive than Misty's. How could he not feel anything when pressed against them? I refuse to believe it. Even if Ash, that blockhead, doesn't understand, how could he not be curious? Having known Ash for over a year, Mu Chen knows him quite well. This unfortunate kid isn't the kind of pervert who's born without any interest in women. The reason he's like this is simply because he doesn't understand. No problem if he doesn't understand. This thing can be guided slowly. Mu Chen is quite satisfied with Misty's assist today. This girl is getting smarter and smarter. While Mu Chen and Misty were gesturing behind him, Ash, walking ahead, as Mu Chen expected, became curious about the two large mounds. Huh? Serena. Is there something patting your chest? Why do I feel like something's pressing down on me? After all, the size is what it is. Normally, it's not too noticeable unless you deliberately touch it while walking. But with this kind of pressure, it's definitely. Feeling something unusual, Ash naturally asked without hesitation. However, his question instantly made Serena blush. Oh my god. How could she answer? It was too embarrassing. Even if they weren't together yet, and were boyfriend and girlfriend, it wouldn't be this direct, would it? It was only because Serena liked Ash that she dared to ask him this. Otherwise, if anyone else had asked, she would have slapped them across the face. Wasn't this just pure flirting? Serena blushed deeply, unsure how to answer Ash, while Mu Chen, listening from behind, was incredibly excited. Pikachu, see that? See that? What did I just say? This idiot has finally figured it out. Misty. Baby. Our spring is coming. Through the Dragon Sister, Mu Chen had learned how wonderful human women were. This was something Pokémon couldn't compare to. But, even though the Dragon Sister could transform, compared to a real human woman, she was still a little lacking. Moreover, waiting for him was such a beautiful woman as Misty. The thought of soon being able to devour the beautiful Zaya-Aksha filled Mu Chen with excitement, making him tremble with elation. You bastard. What are you thinking? Quiet down. Holding Pikachu, Zaya-Aksha knew exactly what this jerk was thinking. Sensing his rising temperature, how could she not know what he was plotting? The thought made her blush. But just as Mu Chen was excited and the two girls were shy, Zaya-Aksha spoke up again. Oh dear. Serena, are you running a fever? You feel so hot. And what's that padding you're wearing? Can you take it off? It's pressing on me, it's very uncomfortable. A critical hit. A super critical hit. A fatal blow. As Zaya-Aksha's words fell, an eerie silence instantly descended. The previously shy Serena froze. Of course, Serena wasn't the only one petrified. Zaya-Aksha's mouth was agape, unable to close for a long time. The only one not petrified was Mu Chen, whose mental fortitude was relatively strong. Even so, Mu Chen's previous excitement had vanished. Pikachu, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with your brain? Can't you think like a normal person? You uncomfortable being pinned down? How could you say that? You son of a bitch. If you're uncomfortable, what about me? At that moment, if Mu Chen hadn't seen Serena still on Ash's back, he would have genuinely wanted to throw a fully charged electric ball at her. Chapter 437A System Notification. What? Xiaoxia, do you think Ash doesn't like me at all? Having been carried by Ash the whole way, Serena, now resting at night, felt no excitement whatsoever. After being repeatedly attacked by that idiot during the day, Serena felt she was about to collapse. In this situation, any other man would probably understand her feelings, right? But Ash. Serena couldn't be sure if Ash was truly as clueless as Xiaoxia said. Or perhaps he understood perfectly well, but simply wasn't interested and was using this method to indirectly reject her. The thought of this possibility shattered Serena's heart. Oh, Serena, don't worry. Ash isn't like that at all. Ash was busy feeding and training his Pokémon. Looking at Serena, who had come to her crying, Xiaoxia was also at a loss. What to do? Xiaoxia considered herself to know Ash very well. Based on Xiaoxia's judgment of that idiot, this critical hit was definitely not intentional. But the problem is, the damage from this critical hit was simply too immense. Let alone Serena, if it were her, Xiaoxia estimated she wouldn't be able to withstand it either. Looking at Serena's aggrieved face, Xiaoxia could only continue to comfort her against her conscience. Hang in there, Serena. As long as you're stubborn enough, keep going, and you'll definitely be able to move that idiot Ash. For no other reason than for my lifelong happiness, I have to sacrifice you, Pikachu, damn it, why is this damn mission so difficult? System, come out, can we talk? Can you give me a different mission? Even if you let me challenge that Ho-Oh thing, I don't want to continue with this mission. Serena even used her Pokémon attack, but she was still defeated by a supercritical hit. Faced with this situation, Mu Chen was completely helpless. Damn it, if it were me, I'd be either bleeding profusely or turning into a midnight madman. But this idiot? All I can say is, holy crap. Therefore, Mu Chen now places all his hopes on the system. Anyway, this system isn't some lousy electronic program. To restore his strength, he should be able to negotiate anything, right? Sorry, host, I can't do your request, the system replied instantly as soon as Mu Chen made his request. Pikachu, why? What's wrong with it? Can't we discuss it? You want to restore your strength? With this idiot, do you think I have a chance to complete the mission? If I can't complete the mission, how will you restore your strength? Host, don't worry about it. This main quest is crucial for my recovery. Changing it is absolutely impossible. And let me tell you, since I can give you this quest, you definitely have the potential to complete it. Just go for it. The system, having painted a rosy picture, returned to its aloof state. However, Mu Chen wasn't about to foolishly take a bite of this pie. Pikachu, possibility? Where is the possibility? Come out here. Come on. System, hurry up and draw me this possibility. If you don't give me a definite answer today, I'm definitely not playing anymore. Anyway, things are fine as they are now. Even if I only transform for 5 minutes, I can still solve the problem by going all out. At worst, my little Misty will have to work a little harder. She'll probably get used to it after a few more times. Through the Dragon Sister Ladius, Mu Chen had completely figured out what the humming and hawing thing was all about with human girls. Although Latius's transformed form differs somewhat from a real human woman, the difference shouldn't be too great. That's why Mu Chen is genuinely unafraid of the system's threats. As for annihilation? Damn it. Who's afraid of who? If you annihilate me, how the hell will you recover your strength? This system dares to defy the heavens, it's incredibly powerful. What is he in its eyes? Mu Chen truly doesn't believe the system would give up hope of recovering its strength just because it's angry with him. Mu Chen has calculated this very clearly. Even with its extraordinary abilities, the system is powerless against this rogue. After a brief silence, the system finally speaks. That idiot Ash doesn't understand the beauty of women. To make him understand, you have to educate him, let him know the beauty of women, and what humming and hawing between men and women really means. Once you make him understand this, even if Serena doesn't take the initiative, that idiot will definitely take the initiative. Damn it. Why didn't you just tell me sooner? That would have been fine. Hearing the system's reply, Mu Chen immediately went into tuxiao, a Chinese internet slang term for complaining criticizing, mode. Such a trivial matter, Why didn't you just tell me sooner? Why all this trouble? Suddenly realizing perfectly describes Mu Chen's current state. As for the human bomb impact thing, that idiot Zhi, without understanding, naturally wouldn't know how wonderful it was. That's why, faced with Serena's 2 human bomb impacts, Zhi chose to retaliate with critical hits. But what if I let him see it? What if he saw the wonderful scene under those clothes? Even what if I just gave him a live demonstration, letting this idiot see what all that humming and hawing was all about? This idiot might not understand, but he's still a normal man, right? Humans in this world are much more mature than those on Earth before Mu Chen's transmigration. Mu Chen didn't believe that if he really gave that idiot Zhi a live demonstration, he wouldn't react. As long as this idiot was curious about this kind of thing, then Mu Chen wouldn't be far from completing the mission. Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. There's another random mission. I'll be blunt this time. Team Rocket's Elite Four member, Apollo, has connections with a certain Elite Four member of the Silver League. Last time you defeated the Beastman, and now Apollo is going to take action himself. With the Silver League providing clues, your whereabouts are completely exposed. He'll probably make his move in the next day or two, before you even reach the Silver League. So, you need to be prepared. Just as Mu Chen was excitedly considering how to explain this basic information trash, the system's voice came again. Chapter 438 Keeping it from you? Pikachu, why aren't you asleep yet? To give Serena and Ash some alone time, and to strengthen her bond with Pikachu, Misty would always take Pikachu a little further away from them when sleeping outdoors. Normally, Pikachu would fall asleep earlier and faster than anyone else. But this time, more than an hour had passed, Ash was already snoring, and Pikachu was still rolling around in her arms. At first, Misty thought it was trying to take advantage of her, and she felt a little shy. But as time went on, and as the rascal Pikachu continued to roll around, Misty finally realized something was wrong. Normally, if this little rascal wanted to take advantage of her, it would use its short arms to grab her vital spots and hold on tight, right? It wasn't the first time she'd been bullied like this by Pikachu. She was already used to its tricks. But today, this little rascal's short arms didn't move at all. Instead, its body kept rolling around. Clearly, it wasn't trying to take advantage at all. Noticing this, the puzzled Zhi quickly asked Pikachu, Pika, oh, just relax and rest. I won't mess with you today. Faced with Zhi question, Mu Chen naturally gave a bunch of random gestures. Mu Chen knew about Team Rocket's Elite Four member Apollo's planned attack through the system. But the problem was, even if he knew, he couldn't tell Zhi. What could he say? Should he use his fingers to predict it? Nonsense. To guard against a possible midnight attack, how could Mu Chen possibly sleep peacefully? If he fell asleep and Apollo launched a sneak attack, things would get really messy. You see, the system had already warned that a certain Elite Four member of the Silver League was connected to Apollo, and Ash and the others' whereabouts were completely under their control. With just one more day's journey to reach the Silver Alliance, Apollo's attack was clearly scheduled for tonight or tomorrow. Knowing this, Mu Chen was utterly unable to sleep soundly. You bastard. How dare you hide things from me? Seeing that Pikachu dared to conceal something from her, Zhi was furious. This bastard, we're not even officially together yet, and you dare to hide things from me? If we actually live together in the future, wouldn't you be causing trouble? Zhi absolutely couldn't tolerate Pikachu's behavior of keeping secrets from her. Without a word, the furious Zhi jumped up, grabbed Pikachu, and headed into the depths of the wilderness. Since this bastard was keeping her awake anyway, she'd teach him a lesson today. Pika, holy crap. What's wrong with you now? Suddenly being pulled awake by Zhi, Mu Chen was completely bewildered. Why aren't you sleeping? What are you doing bothering me like this in the middle of the night? I've sacrificed my sleep to protect you guys, and you're dragging me around like a chick. Mu Chen was furious at Zhi despicable behavior. Damn it, have I been too lenient with you? Zhi dragged him deeper into the forest, and Mu Chen knew she wanted to teach him a lesson. But HMPH. Who's going to teach whom a lesson is still uncertain. Since he was afraid to sleep anyway because of Apollo's attack, he might as well take this opportunity to assert his authority. Seeing that Zhi had a breakthrough in his progress, and his transformation time would be greatly extended, Mu Chen decided he couldn't endure it any longer. Now was the perfect opportunity. This wild girl, Xiaoxia had to be tamed. Otherwise, Mu Chen knew that if he couldn't gain the upper hand in his confrontation with Xiaoxia, even after he became human, he would always be the one being dragged around. This was not what he wanted. As a grown man, how could he let a little girl dominate him? As a man, Mu Chen's pride was extremely strong. Taking advantage of her occasionally, joking around, was fine. But if you were to live with Xiaoxia and still be treated like this, Mu Chen absolutely could not accept it. He wasn't some simp. Pikachu, you bastard, transform right now. If you don't explain yourself clearly today, I'm not finished with you. Just as Mu Chen was preparing to completely crush Xiaoxia in his heart, an enraged Xiaoxia dragged him to the edge of the wilderness. Throwing Mu Chen to the ground, Xiaoxia put her hands on her hips. Clearly, Xiaoxia had completely exploded at his attempt to hide something from her. Pikachu, you brat, if I wasn't worried about hurting you with a 5-minute rapid attack, I would have taken you down today. Seeing Xiaoxia's angry face, Mu Chen's anger also rose. Damn it. I'm your man. Can't you respect me a little? Even if my Pikachu look is cute, you can't treat me like a doll. No question, transform. You bastard. Tell me. What are you hiding from me? Have you changed your mind? Did you see that Serena's figure is better than mine today and start having feelings for her? Mu Chen had a terrible reputation in Xiaoxia's eyes. That's why she was so concerned that he was hiding something from her. Xiaoxia was also a very possessive girl. Bullshit. Who the hell has fallen for that girl whose head got caught in a door? I've always loved you. It's been over a year, can't you tell how I feel about you? As soon as he transformed, Xiaoxia preemptively asked, and Mu Chen could only continue the conversation. However, it was precisely because of this that Mu Chen finally understood why this girl had suddenly gone crazy. Holy crap. Little girl, are you jealous? Falling for Serena? That's pure nonsense. Although Mu Chen likes older women, it's not so easy for him to truly fall for someone. He was genuinely attracted to Xiaoxia. As for Serena? At most, he was just lusting after her body. Of course, Mu Chen would never say that out loud. Then tell me. What are you hiding from me? Seeing Mu Chen's resolute answer, Xiaoxia felt half relieved. What the hell am I hiding from you? I'm treated like a chicken by you every day. What could I possibly hide from you? No way. Today I have to assert my husbandly authority. Looking at Xiaoxia's still resentful face, Mu Chen knew it was time for his counterattack. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 439 Turning Against Someone Faster Than Flipping Through a Book. You bastard. Don't come any closer. What are you doing? If you come any closer, I'll scream. Panic ensued, utter panic. Watching Mu Chen approach with a wicked grin, Xiaoxia finally lost her previous bravado. At this moment, Xiaoxia transformed into helpless, a lone girl, as if she had encountered a hungry wolf in the wild. You brat. Always nagging me. Today I'll show you what a man is. What a real man is. The more panicked Xiaoxia became, the more emboldened Mu Chen became. You little brat, you think you're so fierce? Go ahead and be fierce with me. Why aren't you fierce now? Scared? HMPH. Too late. This is a rare opportunity. Mu Chen had to settle this matter today and subdue this little girl. Otherwise, the days to come would truly be unbearable. You bastard. I'm telling you, if you dare to do anything reckless, I'll never talk to you again. Seeing that Mu Chen hadn't stopped walking towards her and was still approaching, Xiaoxia quickly put her hands in front of her in a defensive stance. What did this bastard want to do? Could it be? In an instant, based on Mu Chen's expression and his notorious past, Xiaoxia had a terrifying realization. This bastard. Was he trying to force himself on her? No. Absolutely not. Although their feelings had been cultivated, and Xiaoxia had long accepted him in her heart, she had even been looking forward to and fantasizing about this day. But that was definitely not the situation now. What was going on? She had angrily confronted this bastard, but now she was the one in the passive position? Xiaoxia basically believed his previous explanation. This despicable bastard probably wasn't hiding anything from her. As for Serena, It was all because she was overthinking and being paranoid. Even so, that wasn't a reason for Zaya to accept being forced by Mu Chen. These were two completely different things, two completely different concepts. All the romance she had imagined, all the heartfelt confessions, she was just forced on by this bastard? What's more, if he forced himself on her today, what about the future? Would she be dragged to the woods every night in the middle of the night? No way. Absolutely not. Thinking of this, Zaya-Aksha's resolve strengthened. Without a word, Zaya-Aksha moved her right hand away from her body and reached for the Pokeball hanging at her waist. Clearly, Zaya-Aksha intended to summon her Pokemon for self-defense. However, in her nervousness, she completely forgot that Mu Chen's transformation time was only 5 minutes. She had said a few words earlier, wasting a bit, and now only a few minutes remained. Even if she did nothing, even actively cooperated, that little time wouldn't be enough for Mu Chen to do anything. Just shut up already. Zaya-Aksha's actions naturally didn't escape Mu Chen's notice. Seeing that this girl was actually preparing to summon a Pokemon, Mu Chen became even more anxious. He was joking, of course. He barely had time left in his transformation form. How could he have time to fight a Pokemon? Without hesitation, having discovered Zaya-Aksha's plan, Mu Chen instantly activated. With the aid of high-speed movement, Mu Chen transformed into a blur, instantly appearing in front of Zaya-Aksha. Ah! Let go! Don't touch me! Zaya-Aksha screamed in fright as Mu Chen grabbed her delicate hands. However, slap! 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 Zaya-Aksha's screams only earned her a series of slaps. Ah! You bastard! Let me go! Pressed to the ground and brutally beaten by Mu Chen, Zaya-Aksha's pretty face flushed red with shame. This bastard! This bastard! How dare he? He actually dared to hit me. Now you know who's in charge of this house, right? You brat, let me tell you. I'm your man. Next time you're not behaving yourself, if you treat me like a chicken, I won't be so polite. After a flurry of slaps, Mu Chen's tone was still full of anger, but his expression completely betrayed his true thoughts. Holy crap! Holy crap! So bouncy. I never noticed before, this little girl isn't just perky, she's got real flesh. What? What? Okay. Stop hitting me, I know I was wrong. I promise I won't be so mean to you anymore, okay? I won't doubt you anymore. I won't bully you anymore. After being slapped so hard by Mu Chen, Zaya-Aksha's heart was filled with mixed emotions. Shyness, anger, and panic. There was even a hint of disappointment. She thought this bastard was going to do something to her. Now you know? Zaya-Aksha. Let me tell you. I like you, I love you. But I'm also a man. A real man. Hearing the beauty beneath him beg for mercy, Mu Chen instantly felt immense satisfaction. A man. This is a real man. HMPH. Let you pretend with me, are you scared now? I know, hurry up and let me go. After being whipped until she felt numb and sore, Zaya-Aksha was completely convinced of Mu Chen's despicable nature. Her heart was his, and she would be his sooner or later. What else could she do? Of course, Zaya-Aksha had this thought now because she had little power to resist Mu Chen, who had transformed into a handsome man. But whoosh, Pikachu, holy crap. It's over in 5 minutes? I was just getting started. The transformation time was over, and Mu Chen transformed back into his original form. Watching the little arms weakly patting Zaya-Aksha's body, Mu Chen was utterly helpless. Couldn't he have transformed a little longer? Pikachu! You bastard! Die! As soon as Mu Chen finished transforming, Zaya-Aksha, who was pinned beneath him, naturally sensed it. The handsome guy was gone, and Zaya-Aksha's shyness vanished instantly. Turning her head, she saw that Pikachu, that bastard, still looking like he hadn't had enough, and Zaya-Aksha immediately exploded. Bastard! Bastard! Are you addicted to hitting me? Without hesitation, she quickly flipped over, grabbed the still reflecting Pikachu, and delivered a stylish over-the-shoulder throw. Pika Pika, what the hell? Changing her mind faster than flipping a book? Suddenly being thrown away by Zaya-Aksha, Mu Chen was stunned. You just agreed to this a minute ago, right? And you've already changed your mind? HMPH. Pikachu. I'm telling you, I did agree. But that's only when you revert to human form. Looking at Pikachu's confused expression, the quick-witted Zaya-Aksha knew exactly what he was thinking. Pikachu, what the hell? What? You only respect me when you become human? Does that mean that when I'm Pikachu, you'll still behave the same way? Chapter 440 Apollo's Attack. Pikachu, Pikachu, you heartless bitch. You just wait. Once my transformation time is extended, once I can fully transform into human, I'll wreak havoc on you. Watching Xiaoxia's arrogant back, Mu Chen, lagging behind, kept complaining. What the hell? Differential treatment? What's wrong with Pikachu? Doesn't Pikachu have human rights? Okay, my current form isn't human. But my soul is human. Can't you respect me a little? Unfortunately, reasoning with a woman is absolutely pointless. Especially with a smart and incredibly assertive Xiaoxia. Fine, I've already hid her, touched her, and rubbed her, so I haven't lost out. At worst, I'll just keep dragging this brat along next time I can transform. Lamenting the unfairness of fate, Mu Chen finally chose to face reality. There was no way to solve anything with a 5-minute transformation time. Mu Chen understood that Xiaoxia's words were a form of encouragement for him. Clearly, this brat was also eager for him to complete the mission and increase his transformation time so he could do something inappropriate for children. Pikachu! Hurry up, I want to sleep. Looking at Pikachu shuffling behind her, Xiaoxia was even more annoyed. That wretched bastard. He'd vented his frustration, but what about me? After venting, her anger had subsided considerably, but it hadn't lessened much. Pika Pika, what's with the rush? If you're in such a hurry, go back first. I like walking at night, I like the cold wind, it's none of your business. Faced with Xiaoxia's urging, Mu Chen had to fight back. Seeing Pikachu gesturing behind him, clearly wanting to argue, Xiaoxia became even angrier. Just as she was about to turn back and give Pikachu a good scolding, a sudden change occurred. Houndoom, use flamethrower. Burn these brats to death. In the silent wilderness, a blue-haired man wearing a thick cloak and Team Rocket uniform appeared out of nowhere. He approached the area where Ash and the others were resting and gave the command to attack Houndoom, the large black dog standing beside him. Roar, receiving its master's command, a cold glint appeared in Houndoom's bloodthirsty eyes. Houndoom opened its mouth and spewed out a mouthful of scorching flames, blasting them fiercely towards the sleeping Ash and Serena. Pikachu, Pikachu, holy crap. It's here. Mu Chen already knew through the system that Apollo would launch a sneak attack on them. This was why he had been tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Having sparred with Xiaoxia, Mu Chen assumed Apollo wouldn't appear that night, as dawn approached. But unexpectedly, this guy suddenly appeared at this crucial moment. You see, near dawn, around 2 or 3 a.m., is when people are in their deepest sleep and least guarded. Clearly, Apollo deliberately seized this unexpected time to launch a sneak attack. At this moment, the only thing Mu Chen felt fortunate about was that Apollo was still too cautious. He maintained a distance from the sleeping Ash and Serena. This gave Mu Chen time to react. Pikachu, without hesitation, Mu Chen unleashed a powerful thunderbolt attack on the spewing flames. Zzzzz. The flashing electricity seemed to illuminate the night sky. Pikachu? What's wrong? Xiaoxia, having turned around, didn't notice the change behind her. Seeing Pikachu suddenly unleash a thunderbolt, Misty was immediately startled. Oh my god. What's wrong with him? Is he going to shock me? It was the middle of the night. And Ash and Serena were fast asleep. Pikachu was standing right in front of her. Therefore, upon seeing Pikachu's attack, Misty's first thought was that Pikachu was angry because of her attitude. However, before Misty could think any further, the current swept past her side and blasted towards Ash's sleeping direction. Misty was completely dumbfounded. What's going on? It's not shocking me? Then is it shocking Ash? At this moment, Misty even felt a faint sense of gratitude. Pikachu used Thunderbolt, so he must be furious. It must be because of her bad attitude towards him that he acted this way. But even so, Pikachu couldn't bear to attack her, but instead took it out on Ash. It seems my attitude towards Pikachu was indeed a bit too harsh. He cared about me so much, he couldn't bear to see me hurt in the slightest. Because of this beautiful misunderstanding, Xiaoxia finally decided to be nicer to that jerk Pikachu from now on. But, just as she made her decision to treat Pikachu gently from now on, a violent explosion came from behind Xiaoxia. Boom, 800,000 volts of electricity blocked Houndoom's flamethrower. Damn it, seeing that his sneak attack had been intercepted, Apollo's face showed a ferocious expression. The mighty Team Rocket's number 1, the number 1 under Giovanni, Apollo. It was already ugly to do such a sneak attack. And the sneak attack even failed? This was unacceptable to Apollo. Huh? What happened? Hey! Ash, watch out, there's an enemy. The explosion came not far away, and the soundly sleeping Ash and Serena were naturally awakened by the aftershocks of the explosion. An explosion happened while they were still half asleep, and Ash obviously hadn't figured out what was going on. Comparatively, Serena, who was further away, suffered far less from the aftershocks than Ash. Naturally, she noticed the change in situation and repeatedly warned Ash. Damn it! Who are you? Why did you ambush us? Ash, sound asleep, was furious at being ambushed. I was conserving my energy for tomorrow's Silver League challenge, and now someone's ambushing me? And in the middle of the night, no less. Kid, you're lucky you weren't burned to death. But your luck only lasts so long. Prepare to face death. I, Apollo of Team Rocket, will show you what true fear is. Undeterred by the failed ambush, Apollo wasn't discouraged. While the kid was strong, as the top player of Team Rocket, Apollo naturally had his own pride. In Apollo's eyes, if he got serious, Ash was no match for him. The ambush was just a way to save energy. Chapter 441 appeared one after another. Team Rocket? Damn it! It's you again. Go, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. Hearing Apollo announce his name, Ash's hatred intensified. Team Rocket. Those despicable guys again. Upon discovering the enemy was Team Rocket, Ash naturally didn't hesitate. Pikachu, go fight. But something completely baffling happened. According to his memory, Pikachu should be beside him. But, with his command, Pikachu charged at Apollo from a distance of about 10 meters. And beside Pikachu was Misty, looking completely dazed. Looking at Pikachu and Misty, Ash was confused. What were these two doing in the middle of the night? Pika. Whether Ash was confused or not, Mu Chen didn't care. After waiting half the night, Apollo finally appeared. What was there to be polite about? High-speed movement activated, and quick attack was launched. During the run, Mu Chen leaped high into the air and launched a powerball at Houndoom beside Apollo. Crackling sound, although it hadn't been amplified by charging, the power of this powerball was still considerable. HMPH. Houndoom, use Fire Blast. If a sneak attack failed, a direct assault was the only option. Seeing Pikachu launch a powerball, Apollo didn't back down. Awahoo! Apollo gave the command, and Houndoom opened its jaws, unleashing a fire blast filled with intense fire element energy at the oncoming powerball. In mid-air, a large, big, character formed by fire element energy gradually took shape, colliding with the powerball enveloped in electricity. Boom! The two violent energies collided, and a violent explosion resounded. According to Mu Chen's plan, even if Houndoom's flamethrower could block his electric ball, it would at most cancel each other out, completely annihilating it in mid-air. However, reality often differs greatly from expectations. Pikachu, holy crap! Is it really that powerful? My electric ball may not have been boosted, but its power is still considerable. With a speed maximized, the power of the electric ball was naturally extraordinary. But even so, Mu Chen's electric ball still ended in defeat after clashing with Houndoom's flamethrower. Watching the flamethrower, which hadn't lost much energy, hurtle towards him, Mu Chen dodged while his heart was filled with astonishment. Is it still Houndoom? Isn't this thing less rare than the starter Pokémon, Charizard, etc.? Why is it so powerful? In Mu Chen's impression, Houndoom was only relatively rare, something that ordinary trainers had a chance to obtain, and its combat power was just so-so. Unexpectedly, Apollo's Houndoom was incredibly powerful. However, Mu Chen hadn't even considered this. His Pikachu's design was commonplace. While others could understand Houndoom's strength, his Pikachu is truly unacceptable. Little thing, you're quite agile. But if that's all you've got, then be prepared to be defeated by me. In a round of attacks, Pikachu's electric ball was no match for Houndoom's flamethrower, and Apollo was immediately at a disadvantage. Those three beast warriors were useless. They couldn't even beat this Pikachu? And they kept exaggerating its strength to me? Previously, the three beast warriors had been defeated, and Alka had died. Sachi and Chakra had naturally fled to Apollo's base. To cover up their defeat, Sachi and Chakra naturally exaggerated Pikachu's strength. Of course, this wasn't exactly exaggeration. At this moment, Pikachu hadn't even used its ultimate move, Charge. Although Apollo had seen Pikachu's charged electric ball in the video, He believed that a regular electric ball couldn't beat flamethrower, so even after charging, it would at most cancel each other out. Having confirmed Pikachu's strength, Apollo held nothing back. Houndoom, use flamethrower. Flamethrower was powerful, but too slow. Hitting the agile Pikachu wouldn't be easy. Therefore, Apollo planned to have his Houndoom, surpassing even the average Elite Four member, use flamethrower to wear down Pikachu. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. Apollo attacked, and Ash, of course, wasn't going to be outdone. Pika Pika, Thunderbolt? Thunderbolt my foot. While the previous Thunderbolt had blocked flamethrower, it was merely a matter of attrition. Attrition warfare was absolutely unacceptable to defeat Houndoom. Mu Chen had no interest in playing a skill-based battle with Apollo in the middle of the night. I'm so damn sleepy, I need to finish this quickly and call it a day. Ignoring Ash's idiotic commands, Mu Chen's cheeks crackled with electricity. A direct confrontation? HMPH. I'm going for a one-hit kill. Activating his charge skill, Mu Chen used his high-speed movement to quickly dodge Houndoom's flamethrower, constantly traversing the wilderness. Damn it. You cunning little thing. Hey. You two, stop watching, join forces and take down these brats. Seeing Pikachu not engaging in a direct confrontation but instead running away to stall, Apollo panicked. Although the Silver League had Elite Four members on their side, Ash's current position was too sensitive. If they continued to delay, they would inevitably be discovered by the Silver League's patrol personnel after dawn. That would be truly troublesome. Therefore, the furious Apollo had no choice but to abandon his dignity and shout directly into the dense forest behind him. Boss Apollo, leave these brats to us. Go, Cursidol, we can't back down either. Go, Steelix, use Crunch. Hearing Apollo's call, Sachi and Chakra, who had been lying in ambush on the perimeter, jumped out immediately. These two were the only survivors of the Team Rocket trio that had attacked Ash earlier. Damn it. Damn Team Rocket. Go, Latius. Use Dragon Breath. Your opponent is Cursidol. With the three Beast Warriors on the field, Ash certainly wouldn't let Pikachu fight alone. Perfect timing, his newly caught dragon sister Latius had never fought before, so Ash naturally wouldn't miss this opportunity to train her. Ash, I'll help you. Go, Latius, use Dragon Pulse to attack Steelix. Ash took action, and Serena, who had been standing beside him, didn't hesitate either. If Serena had only been able to harass and provide support for Ash before, after unexpectedly acquiring her dragon brother Latius, Serena now possessed the strength to fight. Serena was clearly planning to show off in front of Ash when facing these three beastmen. Chapter 442 Let Me Lose? Damn it. What is this? Latius? Latius, the last time this brat fought us, we didn't even have these legendary Pokémon. The dragon brother Latius and the dragon sister Latius appeared one after another, leaving Sachi and Chakra, who were ready to crush the weak, completely dumbfounded. What the hell is going on? Wasn't the script supposed to say this brat only had one powerful Pikachu? How come there's a dragon sister Latius now? And that little girl, wasn't she just there to be cute and show off her long legs? How come she also has a dragon brother Latius? It's only been a few days. Can't we just have some fun? Sachi and Chakra absolutely couldn't accept the dragon brother and dragon sister that Ash and Serena had summoned. Putting aside the fighting power of these dragon brother Latius and dragon sister Latius, the very name of these legendary Pokémon is terrifying. And, most importantly, this is the Johto region. You summoned two legendary Pokémon from home so quickly, is that really a good idea? What are you two doing? Hurry up and take down these brats. Pikachu continued its relentless pursuit. While Houndoom's attacks were powerful, they were largely ineffective if it couldn't hit Pikachu. As time dragged on and dawn approached, Apollo's patience was wearing thin. If this brat held him off until daybreak, and the Silver League patrols discovered him, his only option would be to retreat. This was absolutely intolerable for Apollo. As Team Rocket's top player, Apollo had already sacrificed a great deal of reputation by launching a sneak attack. And what was the result? The sneak attack ended in failure, thwarted by this Pikachu. Fine, thwarted it then. Having absolute confidence in his abilities, Apollo, having abandoned the sneak attack, naturally intended to crush Pikachu on the front lines. But who would have thought this yellow-skinned mouse would be so cunning? After exchanging blows twice with Houndoom, the yellow-skinned rat surprisingly gave up on continuing the fight and instead started running around, stalling for time. Seeing that Houndoom couldn't hit Pikachu no matter how it attacked, Apollo was understandably anxious. Left with no other choice, Apollo had to send Sachi and Chakra into the battle. But to his surprise, these two idiots came out, but instead of fighting, they got caught up in some amazing nonsense. I sent you here to watch the show. What are you amazed about? At this point, Apollo's plan was to engage Pikachu himself while Sachi and Chakra, those two idiots, took down Ash and his friends. Once Ash and the others were defeated, this one Pikachu would be easy to deal with. But who would have thought that these two idiots would actually jump out to watch the show? So what if it's a dragon? So what if it's a dragon sister? In Apollo's eyes, so-called legendary Pokémon were nothing special. However, Apollo only considered his own fearlessness against legendary Pokémon of this caliber, neglecting the strength of Sachi and Chakra. These two were merely three beast warriors. Even if their main Pokémon reached the Elite Four level, they would only be entry-level Elite Four members. These legendary Pokémon, Latios and Latios, could still pose a significant threat to them. Damn it. Go. Cursidal, use Shadow Ball, Steel Snake, charge in and use Bind. Then use Crunch. Apollo's urging came, and despite their astonishment, Sachi and Chakra could only grit their teeth and issue the attack commands. Pikachu, with the dragon brothers and sisters holding off the three beast warriors, Mu Chen had no more worries. HMPH. Apollo, huh? Daring to launch a sneak attack? Watch me electrocute you. With continuous running and dodging, the charge skill gradually took shape. Mu Chen was confident that once he unleashed his recharged version of the Electro Ball, he would be able to take down Houndoom in one hit. However, just as Mu Chen was preparing to activate his power, the system's voice suddenly came from his mind. Host, do you want to synthesize the Electro Ball, Pikachu? What? What the hell? Synthesize the Electro Ball? What does that mean? Of course I want it. I've been dreaming about it. Hearing the system's sudden question, Mu Chen was a little confused. What does this mean? I'm fighting right now, and you suddenly ask me this. What, if I take down Houndoom and defeat Apollo, you'll just give me the Electro Ball? Host, if you want to obtain the last component of the Electro Ball, I can combine the tasks for you to form a new task. As long as you complete this new task, I will give you the last component directly. The enticing voice came again. Obviously, the system really wanted Mu Chen to agree to its request. Pikachu, tell me, what's the mission? Mu Chen would absolutely not miss this opportunity to get an electric ball. The magnet only amplified the power a little, but the electric ball doubled it. What does that mean? With an electric ball in charging mode, I'd be unstoppable. Even that weak Ho-Oh from before, I'd dare to challenge it. Looks like you've accepted? So, this time the combined mission is for you to lose to Apollo and then be captured. Pikachu, holy crap. What the hell are you talking about? Before the system could finish, Mu Chen panicked. What the hell? Intentionally lose? And then lose to Apollo? What the hell? Why should I lose? And what about Misty and the others if I lose? Mu Chen could ignore Ash and even Serena in black stockings. But what about Misty? If he lost, wouldn't Zioxia be in danger? Besides, if he lost and was captured by Apollo, wouldn't he be dissected and studied? Mu Chen said he absolutely couldn't accept that. Can you let me finish? The system was exasperated by Mu Chen's sudden interruption. This scoundrel, why doesn't he have any patience at all? Pikachu, damn it. Speak. Hurry up and speak, I want to see what you can come up with. You want me to deliberately lose and be dissected and studied? You son of a bitch. Don't even mention an electric ball. Even if you made me perfectly transform into human, holy crap. If that were the case, then we could discuss it. Just one electric ball, and Mu Chen said he absolutely couldn't accept this kind of deliberate defeat. I'm clearly very strong, why should I lose? Chapter 443 Haggling and Winning You Over. Pikachu, aren't you the system? Aren't you omniscient and omnipotent? Why are you making me play a double agent? At this moment, Mu Chen was filled with suspicion. What on earth is this system up to? This thing actually made me intentionally lose, then be captured by Apollo and taken to Team Rocket's base in the Chengdu region? And then, after arriving at a base, it's going to destroy Apollo and the base together? What's going on? What did Team Rocket do to you? Why do you have such a deep-seated hatred? Moreover, This system can't even find Team Rocket's base. Why does it insist on making me intentionally lose and infiltrate? Don't you know that losing is fraught with danger? Who knows what Apollo might do to me? Besides, Mu Chen was really worried about Xiaoxia. What if Xiaoxia encountered danger without his protection? Host, you can rest assured. Xiaoxia and the others won't encounter any danger. Team Rocket and Apollo's goal is only for you. As long as you deliberately lure Apollo away and then lose, Apollo won't pay any attention to the other two beast warriors. The only thing he'll do is take you back to base alone. Once inside the base, you can destroy Apollo along with the Chengdu base. Faced with Mu Chen's doubts, the system could only patiently explain. To change the timeline, Team Rocket was an organization that had to be eliminated. In this world, Team Rocket's status was even higher than that of a regional league. At this moment, the system's goal was clearly to have Mu Chen use himself as bait to infiltrate the enemy and destroy Team Rocket's base in the Chengdu region first. Losing the Chengdu base would greatly affect Team Rocket's power. And in doing so, the timeline would also change drastically. This would obviously be of great benefit to the system's recovery. Pikachu, bullshit. Drawing Apollo away, I'll be fine even if I get caught alone. But once I'm caught, will Apollo not restrict my movements? If he takes me to the base, will I even have the chance to resist? Damn it. You're asking me to willingly offer myself up for him to dissect. Hearing the system's suggestion, Mu Chen roughly understood. Indeed, as this guy said, after drawing Apollo away, he would deliberately lose the battle. Given Team Rocket's selfish nature, Apollo would definitely ignore the two beast warriors and take him back to the base. This way, Xiaoxia and the others wouldn't be in much danger. With Dragon Brother and Dragon Sister around, Sachi and Chakra wouldn't pose much of a threat to Xiaoxia and the others. But the problem is, what about himself? He's being controlled, how can he resist? It sounds so easy, destroy the base and kill Apollo? If he can't resist, what's the point of destroying it? He'll be dead anyway. While the Electro Ball was tempting, Mu Chen had to carefully consider his safety. He was joking, he was about to reach the pinnacle of his life, and if he accidentally crashed, he'd be devastated. Don't worry. Once you're inside the Team Rocket base in the Chengdu area, even if you're controlled, I'll help you break free. The system wasn't stupid. Mu Chen had said so much just to get a guarantee. As long as the system could guarantee Mu Chen's safety, it figured the system wouldn't have any other objections. However, the system clearly underestimated Mu Chen's appetite. Pikachu, that was worth considering. But could they discuss some extra rewards? You see, this was a risky undertaking. Even requiring him to leave Misty for a while and be unable to protect her. Such a huge price to just synthesize the Electro Ball seemed a bit lacking, didn't it? A fool wouldn't pass up a good deal. The system wasn't stupid, and Mu Chen wasn't an idiot either. Clearly, the system desperately wanted him to complete this task. Since that's the case, then naturally there's room for negotiation. For Mu Chen, there's never too much of a bargain. Hearing that Mu Chen actually wanted more benefits, the system was utterly speechless. It had seen shameless people, but never anyone this shameless. An electric ball. This thing is trash to everyone else, but for you, Pikachu, isn't it a divine artifact? They've already promised to give you an electric ball directly, and you're still not satisfied? Even more shamelessly, you still want more benefits? Pika, hurry up and give me an answer, or I'll unleash this charged electric ball. There's hope. The system's silence is the best response. Clearly, the system is also calculating gains and losses. Mu Chen doesn't care how many world lines this mission will disrupt or how much strength it will restore. For Mu Chen, increasing his own strength is the most important thing. Only when his strength reaches a point where he fears no danger will Mu Chen be completely at ease. System? Hell, you're using me now. Who the hell knows what your attitude towards me will be after you fully recover? It was precisely because of this concern that Mu Chen didn't miss any opportunity to squeeze the system dry. Alright, as long as you can successfully destroy Team Rocket's base in the Johto region and kill Apollo, then, on top of the promised electric ball, I'll give you another chance to spin the wheel. Seeing the electricity starting to gather on Mu Chen's tail, the system panicked. If that black electric ball hits, Apollo will escape, and what will happen to their base? Although the system is incredibly powerful, because its strength hasn't fully recovered, it can only sense situations within a certain range. Team Rocket's base isn't within the system's perception range, so it can only use this method, sending Mu Chen as bait to infiltrate the enemy. Pikachu, why didn't you say that earlier? Having received the system's promise, Mu Chen was overjoyed. One mission for 2 rewards, could it be even more profitable? Even if he's temporarily separated from Misty, he's not afraid. As long as Team Rocket isn't around, Ash and the others won't be in any danger. Pikachu, without further ado, Mu Chen abandoned the use of the Super Ball, darted out of the battle with a flash of lightning, and ran towards Misty behind him. He didn't care about Ash, that idiot, he didn't care at all. But his precious Misty couldn't be. He didn't know how many days he'd be gone, and if he didn't tell his darling, wouldn't she worry about him? Chapter 444 It hurts so much? Pikachu. Watch out. Watching Pikachu's retreating figure, Xiaoxia's pretty face was filled with worry. Apollo had attacked, and Sachi and Chakra had also appeared. Xiaoxia had been prepared to summon her Pokémon to join the battle at any moment. But unexpectedly, just as Xiaoxia was observing the battle and looking for the best opportunity to intervene, Pikachu broke away from the fray at an extremely high speed and charged towards her. Seeing Pikachu rushing towards her, Xiaoxia was truly dumbfounded. What happened? That Houndoom was powerful, but Pikachu hadn't even used its full strength. Losing shouldn't be happening, right? Xiaoxia knew that the electric current emanating from Mu Chen's cheeks indicated that his charge skill was ready. Instead of attacking, this thing was running towards her. How could Xiaoxia not be dumbfounded? However, before Xiaoxia could even ask a question, Pikachu wiggled its rear end and started gesturing with its little arms towards the ground. Seeing Pikachu writing a message for her, Xiaoxia knew it must be something extremely important. Without hesitation, she summoned Duck to temporarily shield Pikachu from Houndoom's attack. Seeing Xiaoxia's understanding nature, Mu Chen was deeply moved. This girl is truly amazing. How incredibly considerate. It seems I also need to work harder to learn how to be considerate, otherwise how can I face my precious little one? Of course, that's a story for later. Right now, Mu Chen quickly left his message for Xiaoxia on the ground. Pika. After a series of gestures, having said what he needed to say, Mu Chen activated quick attack again. However, this time, his target was still Xiaoxia. Seriously, I'm leaving soon, and for several days at that. Shouldn't I give my precious little one some proper attention? Without a doubt, Mu Chen expertly slipped into Xiaoxia's arms, plucked her flesh, and with the lingering fragrance of his hands, turned and charged at Black Luluga. Mu Chen was gone, and Xiaoxia was still completely bewildered. What was going on? He rushed over, wrote a few words, and then, like a madman, took advantage of me and ran away? What's wrong with you? Do you need me to recharge you before you fight? Just as Xiaoxia was about to unleash a torrent of abuse on Mu Chen, venting her anger at being taken advantage of, the words he left on the ground finally caught her attention. What did he write? Baby. I'm going to lure Apollo away, then deliberately lose, infiltrate the enemy, and completely destroy Team Rocket's Chengdu base. Only then can our trip be safe, and we won't be constantly harassed or ambushed. Baby. You need to know, I'm doing all this for your safety. I'll be back in a few days at most, don't worry about me. Love you. Mu Chen. Oh, and baby. Remember to delete the message I left you later, it'll be hard to explain if that idiot Ash sees it. When Xiaoxia saw Mu Chen's message, she immediately forgot about the time he took advantage of her, and forgot her anger. This bastard. Are you crazy? Deliberately lose? Be captured? Don't you know how dangerous that is? Even if you get ambushed, so what? I don't want you to take the risk. Although Mu Chen's message made Xiaoxia's heart flutter, and she was even so moved that she wanted to give herself to him. But, isn't this dangerous? What will I do if something happens to you, you bastard? Knowing Pikachu's plan, Xiaoxia no longer cared about his shameless attempt to take advantage. At that moment, all she wanted to do was stop Pikachu, stop this jerk from taking the risk. However, by the time Xiaoxia realized what was happening, it was too late. Watching Pikachu's retreating figure, watching Apollo angrily directing Houndoom in the chase, all Xiaoxia could do was shout at Pikachu's receding back. You bastard. You have to take care of yourself. Whether you can complete the task the god gave you. Whether you can only maintain your transformation for 5 minutes or stay in Pikachu form forever. Xiaoxia. Will be your woman for life. Of course, these were just thoughts in her mind. With Ash, Serena, and even the Team Rocket guys present, Zaya Aksha would never actually say them aloud. Mu Chen, of course, had no idea what Xia was thinking. Otherwise, he might have given up on the mission and run back into Xia's arms. It was precisely because he didn't know that Mu Chen was still running with all his might. Pikachu, Pikachu, come on. Apollo, is it? Hurry up and chase me. This might be your only chance to defeat me in your life. Since he had decided to deliberately lose to Apollo, Mu Chen naturally couldn't use his recharged electric ball. If he threw that out, how could he possibly lose? Through their previous exchange, Mu Chen had a general understanding of Apollo's strength. While this guy was indeed quite strong, much stronger than those like Random and Lance, Mu Chen's strength was now far greater than before. Relying on his recharged super electric ball, Mu Chen had absolute confidence in defeating him. Pikachu, with a difficult Pikachu attack, Mu Chen stumbled and fell headfirst into the ditch in front of him. Ha ha ha. What strongest Pikachu? It's nothing special. Houndoom, charge. Use Crunch. Apollo was already excited to see Pikachu only able to run away in a sorry state after a few rounds against Houndoom. Now, seeing Pikachu so clumsy as to fall headfirst, Apollo was overjoyed. The only thing that troubled Apollo about this little thing was its speed. Now that it had fallen, its speed advantage was gone. How to deal with it was entirely up to Apollo. As for that black electric ball he'd seen in the video? Hell, in front of the mighty Apollo, what black electric ball? That's all nonsense. Would I, Apollo, give it a chance to use black electric ball? With immense confidence in his own strength, Apollo truly hadn't expected Pikachu to deliberately lose. Pikachu, holy crap. You stupid dog. Bite me a little harder, I won't fight back. Apollo was excited, but Mu Chen was filled with indignation. This is a skill, even feigning defeat. It hurt like hell. After being bitten and served by Houndoom, Mu Chen almost shed tears of grievance. Chapter 445. Let's go first. Ha ha ha. Pikachu, you're mine now. Houndoom, let's go. Just as Mu Chen had planned, after deliberately losing, Apollo completely ignored Sachi and Chakra, who were still battling Ash. He gave an order to Houndoom, which was carrying Pikachu in its mouth, and excitedly led it away. His boss, Giovanni, valued Pikachu so much, handing it over would surely bring him a very generous reward. This was an irresistible temptation for Apollo. Moreover, given Giovanni's higher regard for Pikachu, Apollo had specifically watched Pikachu's previous battle videos. Even if he didn't hand it over, catching it and making it his Pokémon would be good enough. Although Pikachu wasn't a match for his Houndoom, Apollo considered this normal. What level was Houndoom? It was at the level of a high-ranking Elite Four member. It could even hold its own against a Dragonite of Lance's caliber. Pikachu getting crushed is perfectly normal, isn't it? In Apollo's opinion, this Pikachu's strength had completely reached the level of a beginner Elite Four member, and even showed a faint trend of breaking through. Apollo was quite interested in Pokémon of this caliber. However, he didn't know that the seemingly unconscious Pikachu was cursing incessantly in its mind. Pika Pika, damn it, what kind of hell is this mission? I regret it. This stupid black dog, couldn't you bite me a little lighter? My skin is so delicate, what if you bite me and damage it? And the stupid Apollo, you just wait, when we get there, I'll electrocute you. For this mission, Mu Chen suffered a great injustice. This is ridiculous, I'm clearly very strong, but I still have to suffer like this? Alice, the pirate ship is already on board. Having already deliberately lost and feigned unconsciousness to be taken away by Apollo, if you were to actually back out now, wouldn't all his previous suffering have been for nothing? While Pikachu was cursing, Ash's battle was also nearing its end. Although Pikachu was gone, his dragon brother Latius and sister Latius were still incredibly powerful. These two were at least to the level of a near Elite Four member or even a beginner Elite Four member. Combined with Misty's clumsy duck, capable of losing to Caterpie but defeating a legendary Pokémon, defeating Sachi and Chakra wasn't too difficult. Damn it. Where's Apollo? Why is he gone? Watching his cursed doll being brutally defeated, Sachi was terrified. Where did these kids get two legendary Pokémon? They weren't here in the previous battle. Seeing imminent defeat, Sachi could only pin his hopes on Apollo. But the problem was, where was Apollo? Sachi, I think I saw Apollo and Pikachu fighting far away, Steelix is relatively more durable than suicidal, which gives Chakra more time to keep an eye on the surrounding battle. What? Apollo isn't here. In the chaos, Sachi obviously didn't notice that Apollo had already left. Sachi didn't care about the outcome of Apollo and Pikachu's battle. But the problem was, Apollo wasn't here. How were they going to fight? Obviously, in the current situation, relying solely on herself and Chakra, they were definitely no match for Ash and his friends. Damn it. Chakra, the rest is up to you. After a moment's thought, Sachi's eyes hardened. I'm not anyone to Apollo. Why should I risk my life for you? Anyway, I've already delayed you for so long. I've done my duty. As for Chakra? Hell, if you can run, run. If you can't, stay and buy me time. Better to die than lose yourself. For the members of Team Rocket, what are partners? What are teammates? That's all nonsense. What's more important than my own life? Didn't you see Apollo just disappear without a word? They say he fought Pikachu somewhere else, but what's the actual situation? Who knows? With this plan in mind, Sachi showed no hesitation. He unleashed a smoke grenade, ignoring Chakra's reaction, and vanished into the smoke. Damn it. Sachi. Wait for me. Seeing Sachi leave with just a few words, just like last time, Chakra panicked. They betrayed their teammates like this last time, sacrificing Aka for their escape. Now, Sachi wanted to repeat the same trick? Damn it. I'm not that idiot Aka. I won't waste my life buying time for this damn woman. Without another word, seeing Sachi escape, Chakra didn't hold back. He retracted Steelix, the smoke reappeared, and Chakra decisively disappeared into the wilderness. Ah. Damn it. They got away. Ash had seen plenty of teams escape using smoke, but Pikachu was always the main pursuer. Now that Pikachu wasn't around, relying on his brother, sister, and that silly duck, they really couldn't stop Team Rocket from escaping. Watching the two Team Rocket members flee, Ash could only let out a frustrated roar. Ash! Let's hurry up and go. Taking advantage of Ash's frustration, Misty quickly erased the writing left by Mu Chen. Go? Go where? Pikachu is still battling. Hearing Misty tell him to leave, Ash was stunned. What was going on? Where to go in the middle of the night? Besides, Pikachu was still battling, so they couldn't leave. Although Ash didn't know where Pikachu and Apollo had gone, he had absolute confidence in his starter Pokémon. In Ash's opinion, it wouldn't be long before Pikachu returned victorious. That's why Ash looked completely bewildered by Misty's words. Oh dear. Pikachu won't be back for a while, let's hurry. Let's go straight to the Silver League. Misty couldn't directly tell Ash that Pikachu was playing a double agent. But the problem was, it wasn't a big deal that Pikachu deliberately lost, but wasn't it dangerous for Ash to stay here? What if Apollo returned? Misty knew that against Apollo, besides Chuja and Pikachu, the rest of them were just a burden. If Pikachu deliberately lost and got caught, it would still have a chance to fight back. But if the whole group got caught, wouldn't they become a burden to Pikachu? Although she was extremely worried about Pikachu, Misty didn't want to cause it any more trouble. At this moment, the only thing Misty could do was persuade Ash, that idiot, to go to the Silver League first. At least then, if the rest of them were safe, Pikachu could act without worry, right? But Ash is such a simpleton. No. I'm waiting for Pikachu to come back. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 446 Infiltrating the Enemy's Interior. After waiting all night, Pikachu still hadn't returned. Just as Ash, this blockhead, was getting a little anxious, Misty once again unleashed her deceptive tactics. Pikachu went to chase after Apollo. According to the gestures it gave me before it left, it told us to go to the Silver League and wait for it. After it catches up with and kills Apollo, Pikachu will come looking for us. After some thought, Misty ultimately had no choice but to selectively deceive Ash. What else could she do? Pikachu might be gone for several days. Did she really have to stay in the wild with this blockhead? Serena might feel very happy, but Misty definitely wouldn't. My man is Pikachu, not you, you blockhead. Chasing after Apollo? Oh dear, why is Pikachu so impulsive this time? Misty, if you want to leave, go ahead. I'll wait for Pikachu to come back here. Hearing Misty's explanation, Ash didn't doubt it at all. But as the saying goes, a stubborn fool is incredibly obstinate. Once Ash makes up his mind, no one can change it. Back when Pikachu was stranded on an island after fighting off the jellyfish army on the St. Anne, Ash, this stubborn fool, waited at the dock all night. Now, this stubborn fool has clearly entered his obstinate mode again. Pikachu went to hunt Apollo? Great. Then I'll wait for it to come back here. I'm sure Pikachu will be very excited to see me still waiting for it when it returns. As for whether Pikachu might encounter any accidents while hunting Apollo, Ash hasn't even considered that. No way, this is his starter Pokémon, the Pokémon that helped him become the Kanto champion. How could it possibly fail? Oh dear. Ash, you really are. Ash's determination to wait foolishly left Misty speechless. She couldn't very well tell this fool the truth, that Pikachu deliberately lost and was captured to infiltrate the enemy, could she? She couldn't exactly tell him that because Pikachu deliberately lost, Apollo might return, and it wasn't safe to stay here, could she? But Zyoxia knew that once this blockhead made up his mind, it was really hard to change it. Helpless, Zyoxia could only raise her vigilance to the highest level and stay with this idiot. She couldn't possibly go to the Silver League alone, could she? Just as Zyoxia was getting speechless at Ash's antics, Mu Chen successfully infiltrated the enemy's ranks. Pika, holy crap. Is this Team Rocket's base? It's huge. Looking at the secret base nestled halfway up the mountain, Mu Chen was like a country bumpkin visiting a grand garden, filled with astonishment. Why does Team Rocket's base look more high-tech than the League headquarters to me? Is it really that exaggerated? Host, activate now. Having arrived inside Team Rocket's base, there was no need to hide any longer. Because of the previous promise, the system naturally had to ask Mu Chen if he wanted to help him escape now so he could start his counterattack. Pikachu, what's the rush? This is my first time here, shouldn't I take a good look around and observe the environment? Besides, I'm just pretending to be unconscious, do I need your help to escape? Even if it's a stupid black dog, I can take it down with 100,000 volt if I want to, okay? Having finally arrived at Team Rocket's base, Mu Chen wasn't in a hurry. Anyway, he hadn't encountered any danger yet, and he wasn't going to be dissected and studied. Wouldn't it be better to watch the excitement? Because of the system's presence, Mu Chen wasn't worried about any danger. However, Mu Chen didn't expect that his curiosity would lead him to discover a small but significant secret. What brings you here? Has your brother made up his mind? Will he serve me? As soon as he returned to the base, a female ninja in a tight-fitting outfit appeared before Apollo. Lord Apollo, I'm sorry, my brother has already left Team Rocket. As for joining, my brother, Pikachu, this female ninja in a tight-fitting outfit was none other than Lingzi, the younger sister of Aju, who had been taken advantage of countless times by Mu Chen. Originally, Lingzi was only sent by her brother to reply to Apollo, informing him of her brother's rejection of her invitation. However, this simple report unexpectedly led her to see Pikachu, the very creature that had given her countless terrifying nights and countless, dreams. This sight truly startled Lingzi, even causing her to forget her basic ninja etiquette. This yellow-skinned mouse. Apollo wasn't surprised by Ajo's rejection, having finally cleared his name. Who would want to return to the underworld? However, Apollo didn't care at all. You don't want to work with me? Then I'll beat you into working with me. I don't have time for you now. After I've dealt with this Pikachu matter, I'll naturally give you a good thrashing, Aju. What poison-type Elite Four member? Apollo completely disregarded this. He wouldn't have bothered with a mere female ninja delivering a message. Just as he was about to send her away, she suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Hearing Lingzi's exclamation, Apollo's interest was piqued. No. I don't recognize it. Sorry, Lord Apollo. I used to own a Pikachu, but we were separated by accident, so seeing a Pikachu caused my instinctive exclamation. Being a ninja, Lingzi quickly recovered after a brief moment of astonishment. Although she couldn't yet confirm whether the Pikachu being held in Houndoom's mouth was her little nemesis, Lingzi had no intention of revealing their relationship. HMPH. Interesting. Lingzi, right? You can stay here for now. After I've dealt with this Pikachu, I need you to pass on a message to that guy, Aju. Lingzi's exclamation changed Apollo's mind. Clearly, this female ninja definitely recognized this Pikachu. Otherwise, how could a well-trained ninja lose her composure like this? As for Lingzi's subsequent explanation, Apollo completely disbelieved it. Did she think I was an idiot? At this moment, Apollo's only thought was to find out what the relationship was between this female ninja and this Pikachu. Even, what was the relationship between Ajo and this Pikachu? Pikachu itself didn't matter, but this Pikachu's owner was Ash, the champion of the Kanto region. If Ajo and the others had a close relationship with this Pikachu, wouldn't it mean that besides Lance, another force from the Kanto region had entered the Johto region? However, Apollo didn't notice that the Pikachu, unconscious at his feet and being talked about by the Houndoom, was also filled with shock. Pika Pika, holy crap. Miss Lingzi, what are you doing here? What are you going to do if I go on a killing spree? Chapter 447 Lingzi. Lingzi. Pikachu. What are you doing here? Did Apollo, because Apollo was deliberately testing him, he turned and left after putting Pikachu in a cage that could isolate all electric attacks. The result? Lingzi didn't disappoint Apollo. It was only just past nightfall when Lingzi appeared beside Pikachu. Looking at Lingzi talking to Pikachu outside the cage, a cold smile appeared on Apollo's lips. HMPH. You little bitch, you think you can fool your grandpa Apollo? At this moment, Apollo had already sentenced Lingzi to death. Even that so-called poison-type Elite Four member of the Chengdu region, Aju, Apollo didn't intend to let him go. If you don't submit to me, then die. Pika Pika, Apollo was monitoring, so Mu Chen was naturally unaware. Looking at the anxious Lingzi, Mu Chen was helpless. Damn it, if I hadn't heard you refuse Apollo's request earlier, I would have thought you'd betrayed me, you little wench. If you had, that would be fine, I could unleash my fury without hesitation. But the problem is, you haven't betrayed me, but what will you do when I unleash my fury? Although Lingzi is a ninja and quite agile, it depends on who she's up against. With her Pokémon not being strong, Lingzi can handle ordinary people, but against someone like Apollo, she's just cannon fodder. Mu Chen is very worried that if a big battle breaks out, he won't be able to protect this little wench. Pikachu. Quick. I'll release you, you run away. Lingzi is completely unaware of Mu Chen's concerns. Seeing that Pikachu has regained its energy, Lingzi wants to take the opportunity to secretly release it. You see, the bond between Lingzi and Pikachu is very deep. From initially being forcibly taken advantage of by this despicable bastard to gradually getting used to it, Lingzi had been thoroughly taken advantage of by Pikachu, except for the final step where Pikachu's form prevented him from taking advantage of her. Although she was a female ninja, Lingzi was still a normal woman. Having never been touched by anyone before, Lingzi had been taken advantage of countless times by Pikachu, and in her heart, Pikachu was already her man. You know, in this world, the combination of humans and Pokémon is not uncommon. It was precisely because of this that Lingzi lost her composure when she saw her man, Pikachu, in danger, and wanted to rescue him regardless of the danger. Although this might bring danger to herself and trouble to her brother, Aju, in this moment of crisis, Lingzi couldn't care less about that. For a woman whose body and soul had already fallen, what did her brother's grand plan or her own comfort matter? Pika, holy crap. Little girl, are you stupid? I don't need you to save me. Get the hell out of here. Seeing Lingzi start researching how to open the cage after saying that to him, Mu Chen panicked. Are you really stupid, you little wench? This is Team Rocket's base. Apollo must be on guard. He might even be monitoring this all along. Is it worth it for me? Watching Lingzi frantically searching for the switch, Mu Chen couldn't deny being moved. Damn. I'm serious with Xiaoxia, but with you, it was just casual fun. What's going on? You've fallen for me? I don't want to harem. Mu Chen wasn't stupid. Seeing Lingzi's actions, he knew she had been conquered by him. This was awkward. Frankly, Mu Chen didn't have any feelings for Lingzi. What man wouldn't be impulsive when seeing a ninja girl in fishnet stockings? Especially when the other person is powerless to resist and can have his way with him. Who would have thought that this casual fling would actually develop into something he likes? What to do now? Mu Chen knows Xiaoxia's temper very well. Regardless of whether he can become human again, if this girl finds out there's someone else on the other side, she'll definitely fight to the death. Giving up Xiaoxia for Lingzi? That's absolutely impossible for Mu Chen. If we're talking about love, the only person Mu Chen truly loves is Xiaoxia. Having a harem is simply impossible for Xiaoxia, and Mu Chen won't give up Xiaoxia for Lingzi, so the situation is very simple. If this scene hadn't happened, Mu Chen could still face Lingzi calmly. So what if I use Pikachu's body to take advantage of you? But the problem is, now that this scene has happened, it's difficult. Although Mu Chen is lustful, he's not a scumbag. A woman is willing to risk her life for you. Can you really treat her like a rag? Use her and then throw her away? Mu Chen says he absolutely cannot do that. After some internal struggle, Mu Chen made a decision. The idea of a secret lover was just a joke. If Xiaoxia found out, it would be the end of him, and he didn't want to hurt Xiaoxia. But the problem was, Lingzi had already gone this far. If he still didn't show any reaction, it wouldn't be right, would it? Ultimately, Mu Chen decided that after escaping, he would have a proper talk with Lingzi, hoping to persuade him to back down. If that didn't work, then they could discuss it further. Ha ha ha. You damn little ninja, I found you. You still want to rescue Pikachu? HMPH. Think about yourself first. Let me tell you, this time, even your brother can't save you. Just as Mu Chen was struggling with this, and just as Lingzi was still searching for a way to open the cage and rescue Pikachu, a loud laugh suddenly rang out. The owner of the laugh was none other than Apollo, who had been monitoring everything. Seeing that Lingzi indeed knew Pikachu as he had expected, and even wanted to rescue Pikachu on his own, Apollo was not surprised but delighted. This was evidence. If she could subdue Lingzi, wouldn't she have leverage over her brother, Aju? Then she could use that leverage to coerce him. If he submitted, everything would be fine. If he didn't submit, then he could die. Oh no. Pikachu, run. Don't worry about me. Just as Apollo appeared, Lingzi successfully opened Pikachu's cage. Seeing Apollo, Lingzi was naturally terrified. This guy was known as the strongest member of Team Rocket after Giovanni. Even Pikachu, whom Lingzi considered invincible, had been captured by him. Now, facing Apollo, Lingzi was prepared to die. Chapter 448, The Showdown with Apollo. Pikachu, Pikachu, beautiful lady, step back. Move aside. Leave this to me, I'm all set. He had originally planned to observe the situation further, then launch a surprise attack on Apollo in the middle of the night, doing something like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But unexpectedly, because of Lingzi, Mu Chen's plan was completely ruined. Apollo had already arrived, and the Team Rocket members behind him were constantly gathering, making a major battle inevitable. As a man, how could Mu Chen possibly abandon Lingzi and run away alone? Even if he hadn't deliberately feigned defeat to destroy Team Rocket's base, even without that, given Lingzi's sacrifice to save him, Mu Chen would never have abandoned her. I didn't expect you to recover so quickly. Apollo didn't care about Lingzi. At most, he would subdue her and use her to threaten Aju. But this Pikachu is something Apollo valued highly. How long has it been since that great battle? Wasn't Pikachu defeated and severely injured by Houndoom? How come it's acting like nothing happened? Looking at the lively Pikachu standing in front of Lingzi, Apollo couldn't help but be surprised. This little thing's recovery ability is so exaggerated? However, how could Apollo know that Mu Chen's recovery ability wasn't exaggerated, but rather that his previous severe injury was completely faked? That Houndoom? Hell, it only caused Mu Chen some superficial injuries. Of course, having absolute confidence in his own strength, Apollo was only surprised for a moment before quickly recovering. HMPH. But that's all. So what if your recovery ability is strong? I can defeat you once, and I can defeat you a second time. Having successfully defeated Pikachu, Apollo was extremely confident in himself. He coldly declared his victory to Pikachu, then turned to give instructions to the Team Rocket members behind him. Go. Take this little wench down. Capturing Lingzi would allow him to threaten Aju. Taming her would be ideal, but killing her later would be better. At this moment, Apollo felt like he was destined for greatness. He had captured Pikachu, who had caused Team Rocket heavy losses, and he had also caught Aju, the traitor of Team Rocket, red-handed. Everything was going so smoothly, what could Apollo possibly complain about? However, Mu Chen wasn't going to watch this guy's performance any longer. Pika, damn it, trying to play the high and mighty card with me? Trying to act tough? You? No doubt about it. Mu Chen gestured for Lingzi, who looked nervous, to retreat, and then shot forward, charging towards Apollo. Haha. Good. Houndoom, go, use flamethrower. Pikachu dared to overestimate itself and attack, so Apollo certainly wouldn't hold back. Ow! Receiving Apollo's command, Houndoom, which had been lying beside him, immediately stood up and unleashed a scorching flame at the charging Pikachu. Pika Pika, that's it? If I didn't want to be attacked, you wouldn't even be able to touch a hair on my head. Without a word, with high-speed boost activated and quick attack in motion, Mu Chen left Apollo with a dashing back view. Although the space inside Team Rocket's base was limited, preventing Mu Chen from fully utilizing his high-speed boost advantage, it was still effortless for him to evade Houndoom. HMPH. Little thing, you're only good for running away. Last time Pikachu fought him, it constantly fled, eventually succumbing to exhaustion and being defeated by Houndoom. Seeing this guy use the same trick again, Apollo remained completely unfazed. Run. Run as fast as you can. You can only run for your life. When you can't run anymore, that's when I'll take you down again. This time, I won't be so merciful. The thought of this defeated Pikachu daring to oppose me filled Apollo with a cold laugh. HMPH. Little thing, just you wait. When you're defeated this time, I'll show you what cruelty truly means. However, Apollo was unaware that, as he ran, electricity crackled across Mu Chen's cheeks once more. Pika Pika, damn it, last time I was fully charged and ready to unleash a black electric ball to send you flying, but the system stopped me. This time, let's see if you're so lucky. Just as Mu Chen was running frantically, charging up, Lingzi was also engaged in battle with Team Rocket's elite forces. Hey, little girl, give up, you're no match for us. Exactly. Little girl, you've got a nice figure. Just give up, let the brothers have some fun, I guarantee your safety. Bullshit. Apollo-sama's pleasure comes first, right. I'd be content if we could just get some of Apollo-sama's leftovers. More than a dozen Team Rocket elites, facing this mediocre female ninja, saw no possibility of defeat. When Lingzi arrived before, these people had commented on her figure, but due to her brother's domineering nature, these so-called elites only dared to discuss it in secret. But now, Apollo-sama had ordered her capture, so what was there to be polite about? In any world, in any era, female prisoners always receive some special treatment, don't they? Of course, if it were someone like Sister Feng or Sister Bilbo, then it might be perfectly safe. Go, Crobbit, use haze. Lingzi completely ignored the insults from these elites. At this moment, all she needed to do was have Crobbit use the weather skill, haze. Once the haze was released and covered the battlefield, Lingzi, who was used to operating in the dark, would be on her home turf. Using the advantage of the haze, even if Lingzi couldn't win against these so-called elites, she could at least delay them. Pikachu had already started fighting Apollo, and the only thing Lingzi could do was to block all these elites here, preventing them from interfering with Pikachu's battle. As for the final outcome, that depended on whether Pikachu was powerful enough. The moment Lingzi was discovered by Apollo, she had already prepared to die. Now, what Lingzi was doing was using her own life to help Pikachu, to help him win. Chapter 449 The Dissolved Wall. Ha ha ha. Little mouse, give up. You can't possibly beat me, Apollo. Lingzi was entangled with the elite Team Rocket members using black mist, but Apollo didn't care. As long as he could hold off the female ninja and prevent her escape, that was enough. Once he took down this Pikachu that was running around everywhere, everything would be easily solved. At this moment, after a barrage of Houndoom's attacks, Pikachu had been forced into a corner. Looking at Pikachu in the corner, Apollo was confident of victory. Pika Pika, surrender my ass. My charging skill is almost complete, okay? Hearing Apollo's shout, Mu Chen rolled his eyes. This idiot, does he really think I can't even fight back against him? I'm trying to conserve my energy, not do anything useless. Using ordinary thunderbolts and electric balls is just a waste of time against this Houndoom. How long is this going to last? Rather than engaging in a pointless war of attrition, it was better to endure it, then unleash a super electric ball to finish the battle. That was Mu Chen's plan, and that's what he did. Now, his charging was almost complete, but unexpectedly, Apollo had underestimated him. Houndoom, use Fire Blast. Take down this yellow-skinned rat. From their previous battle, Apollo knew Pikachu's resistance was extremely high. A single Fire Blast would at most injure it. Although Pikachu had escaped its cage this time because of Lingzi, that little brat, Apollo had also been too lenient. Pikachu's resistance and recovery ability were astonishing. Apollo didn't want to defeat this yellow-skinned rat only to have it recover and fight again in a few hours. This time, Facing Pikachu, Apollo was going all out, intending to cripple it in one fell swoop, rendering it completely unable to resist. However, receiving its master's command, Houndoom showed no mercy. As a proud champion-level Pokémon, and one of the embodiments of evil, Houndoom, seemingly born from hell, knew nothing of compassion. Whoosh, with Houndoom's roar ending, a burst of scorching fire elemental energy erupted from its mouth. The fire elemental energy condensed into a large X shape in midair, carrying a force that seemed to ignite the surrounding air as it hurtled towards Pikachu. Pikachu, what the hell? Was it really that brutal? Seeing this massive attack, Mu Chen knew he only had two choices, dodge or take the hit head-on. Counterattacking was out of the question, absolutely out of the question. The charge was almost complete, a counterattack now would mean all his efforts were wasted. But the problem was, dodging seemed impossible given his current location. And taking the hit head-on? Hell, this has never been Mu Chen's style. Damn it. It's just a fireball, right? I refuse to believe I can't dodge it. After a slight hesitation, Mu Chen ultimately chose to dodge. Counterattacking was impossible, and taking the hit head-on would be too damaging. So, dodge was the more reliable option, wasn't it? No doubt about it, with high-speed movement and flash of light, he activated. Temporarily abandoning the plan to continue charging up, Mu Chen focused all his attention on how to dodge this fireball. Ha ha ha. Little mouse, there's no room to dodge, you can't avoid it. The fireball completely blocked Mu Chen's path, with walls of steel on his left, right, and behind him. Apollo really couldn't see how this Pikachu was going to dodge Houndoom's fireball. Pika, bullshit. If this were a super fireball that filled the entire space, I might not be able to dodge it. A mere fireball, how could I not dodge it? Don't forget, this so-called big character. Below it, there's a huge fork. What's Mu Chen's physique? What's Mu Chen's build? If it were a large Pokémon, or even a human, they wouldn't be able to avoid this big blast. But this definitely doesn't include the petite Pikachu. Staring straight ahead, Mu Chen endured the scorching heat of the flames on his body and charged towards the fork of the big character like lightning. Whoosh, the heat whizzed past him, and Mu Chen knew he had succeeded. Boom, before Mu Chen could even celebrate, a violent explosion came from behind him. Having lost its target, Houndoom's big blast didn't have any tracking or turning tricks. It slammed heavily into the steel wall, and at the same time, streams of liquid scorched by the blast's extremely high temperature flowed onto the ground. This was the result of the steel walls and Team Rocket's base being melted by the flames. Pikachu, holy crap. So ferocious, looking at the melted wall behind him, Mu Chen felt a surge of relief. Thank goodness. If he'd been hit by that fireball, his soft, shiny fur would have been burned to smithereens. In the Pokémon world, a Pokémon's power, if formidable, is far more robust than any so-called steel. Don't underestimate Pikachu just because it's made of flesh and blood. This fireball could directly scorch and melt a steel wall, but hitting Mu Chen would at most only injure him. HMPH. Lucky little mouse, you can dodge it once, but you definitely can't dodge it a second time. Houndoom, keep using fireball. Holy crap. So flimsy. Just as Apollo was about to order Houndoom to launch a second attack, and while Mu Chen was still celebrating his narrow escape, something unexpected appeared behind the melted wall. To be precise, it wasn't a thing. Looking at the scene behind the wall, Mu Chen was stunned. Pika, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. What's going on? This is too damn exciting. What the hell are you doing, Apollo, messing around like this so late at night? But seriously, it's quite something. Looking at the beautiful view behind the wall, Mu Chen trembled with excitement. However, before Mu Chen could react, the system popped up again. Host. Forced random mission. If you complete it, I'll reward you with another spin on the roulette. Clearly, the scene behind the wall had excited the system too. Pikachu, 2 spins? No problem. I'll take it. Chapter 450 The Great White Sheep is real. Damn it. Apollo, what are you doing? She'd come all the way from the Kanto region, washed herself clean, and was waiting for a passionate encounter with Apollo. But instead of grabbing Pikachu, this bastard went to catch it? Fine, I could wait for you. The problem is, after catching it, instead of coming to have some fun with me, you went to spy on a female ninja? And then, after realizing something was wrong, you ignored me, this innocent lamb, and went off to fight. Okay. Pikachu is very important, and Boss Giovanni values this guy highly, so I can understand and wait. But what are you doing now? You just burned down the wall? Don't you know I'm naked? Who's going to suffer now that I'm exposed? I'm the one who suffers, but Apollo, aren't you? Didn't you see that damn Pikachu's nose is bleeding? I've been ripped off so badly. As Giovanni's secretary, Makoto's understanding of Pikachu naturally far surpassed Apollo's. This guy's strength wasn't the only astonishing thing. His tastes were equally astonishing. A Pikachu who liked human girls, that was indeed rare. It was precisely because Makoto knew Pikachu's preferences that she found it even more unacceptable. She was being completely exposed by that wretched Pikachu. Makoto. You slut, can't you put on some clothes? Apollo was equally embarrassed by Makoto's nakedness. After all, she was his lover, wasn't she? But Apollo truly hadn't expected that this slut, knowing he was battling Pikachu in the base, wouldn't even put on some clothes? Was she just waiting for him like a little lamb? Was she in such a hurry? Apollo. You bastard, stop talking nonsense and get this wretched yellow rat down for me. I feel disgusted just looking at it, damn it. Not only is his nose bleeding, but he's drooling too? This is going too far. Houndoom, use flamethrower. Seeing that the bird was already rummaging through its clothes, Apollo issued another attack command. That wretched yellow rat, how dare it look at my girl? And so brazenly? So blatantly? Roar, sensing its master's anger, Houndoom opened its mouth wide, and a scorching flame shot out, aimed directly at the Pikachu still standing there, its tail wagging wildly. Whoosh, the scorching air finally brought Mu Chen back from admiring the view. Pika Pika, damn it. Couldn't you have waited until I finished looking? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Because the system had already made the request, Mu Chen naturally sentenced Apollo and True Bird, this pair of illicit lovers, to death in his heart. The thought of this curvaceous Aries being electrocuted to a crisp filled Mu Chen with regret. What a pity. How come he never knew there was such a person in Team Rocket? True Bird? Who the hell is that? True Bird is the personal secretary of Team Rocket's leader, Giovanni. Mu Chen had never joined Team Rocket and had no connection with its members other than battles, so naturally he didn't know the identity and status of this Aries. Wiping away nosebleed and drool with his short arms, Mu Chen focused his attention on Apollo. Regardless, this guy was now his opponent. HMPH. Before, the charging wasn't finished, so he could only dodge. Now? During the time the wall burned down and True Bird was exposed, Mu Chen's eyes weren't idle. But the current in his cheeks wasn't idle either. After a period of gathering, the charging skill was now complete. Against Apollo, Mu Chen was about to retaliate. Without a doubt. He activated Quick Attack with high-speed movement. It was the same old routine. With the wall blasted open, Mu Chen's movement space greatly increased. With a quick dash of Quick Attack, Mu Chen elegantly dodged the oncoming flamethrower. Pikachu. Pikachu, I'm going to retaliate. Prepare to face the thunder. Shouting at the ferocious-looking Houndoom, Mu Chen didn't stop after Quick Attack ended, and quickly sprinted away. As Mu Chen sprinted, electricity began to gather on his tail. Electric Ball, ready to unleash. Apollo. Watch out, Pikachu is going to use Electric Ball. As the top member of Team Rocket after Giovanni, and having spent most of his time in the Johto region, Apollo didn't have a deep understanding of Pikachu. At most, he had only watched a few Pikachu battle videos. But videos, after all, weren't reality. After his previous battle with Pikachu, Apollo's opinion of Pikachu plummeted. Electric Ball? Do you think I'm afraid? Apollo wasn't afraid, but Shinji was. Just as he put on his clothes, Shinji saw the electricity surging from the tail of the charging Pikachu. Seeing this, Shinji was immediately shocked. What was that bastard Apollo doing? Giving Pikachu a chance to charge up? Clearly, this Pikachu had finished charging and was ready to unleash its ultimate attack. As Giovanni's personal secretary, Shinji knew Pikachu extremely well. In other words, within Team Rocket, Shinji knew Pikachu even better than Giovanni, who was most interested in it. How terrifying was Pikachu's electric ball attack? Others might not know, but Shinji certainly did. If Giovanni were fighting Pikachu, this electric ball might not have much effect against Giovanni, who possessed the power of Viridian. But Apollo, his lover, isn't Giovanni. Does the bird know Apollo's true strength? If that electric ball were to be thrown, Houndoom would be finished, and even Apollo might not survive. It was precisely because of this that the bird, seeing the scene before him, hurriedly warned Apollo. Ha ha ha. What electric ball? Do you think I'm afraid of that? Houndoom, use flamethrower, hit it hard. Having defeated Pikachu once, Apollo was brimming with confidence. You want me to be careful of electric ball? Humph. Women are women. Today I'll show you that I, Apollo, am invincible. Pika Pika, holy crap. So tough? Seeing that Apollo didn't try to dodge but instead wanted to fight him head-on, Mu Chen laughed. Are you offering yourself up as food? What else is there to say in this situation? With a flash of lightning, it leaped high into the air, rolled, and a black electric ball nearly 2 meters in diameter shot out from its tail. Little ball. Here we go. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.